You coming from?
Oh, there's one last thing I need to do.
Hey.
Make it so it sounds a little better. There's something I forgot. So
We need some more light, Harry.
oh, we got good light.
You not gonna set those right there. Come on.
Oh, those come on too, but yeah, turn it on and see what happens. Let me see if I can pick this thing up with this thing here. Spark, she the one sitting in the dark over there. Hold on, stay right there, Spark. Let me get this.
I'm in the dark.
Yeah, look like you in the dark. Bluetooth.
You know how to tell them?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The light there is good.
Okay.
Let me get a pick. What you say, Spark?
Nothing.
Okay, well, let me turn off the speaker in here on this thing. On that, I got the speaker connected to this. Bluetooth JPL. Okay. All right, Spark, say something.
Something.
There we go. That's what I need to hear. You better quit getting smart, child. All right. Let me get back at where we were.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, she's right.
All right, you hear
Yeah, she look.
you hear Uncle Moses pretty good.
Yes, I can hear Uncle Moses.
Good. All right, so now he should better hear you pretty well also. Okay, so Uncle Moses. So one of the reasons I kind of came down on the trip was we're coming up on the reunion, and there's two major reasons why. One, the weather changed, and with the weather changing, with the weather changing and COVID ending and all that, I said, man, I gotta get out. I want to get out and come and see people and be around people and be around family. You got the family reunion coming up, and I just wanted to get out. And I said, so me and Sparkle been talking a lot about the family reunion, and the family reunion is coming up. And I said, well, you know, why don't we want to do a road trip? Come on down to Georgia, slide down to Alabama, go back to Georgia, hang out a little bit, and just touch base with everybody. And so me and Sparkle was going to make this trip to Alabama. We had already decided we got to go see Uncle Moses. Now, one thing she wants to do before I leave, she's going to get me I got to scan it so we can get a copy of some of these older pictures to put history on that. But one of the things we want to do is you have so much knowledge about the family and things that are going on with the family. I didn't realize that you're a pretty young man. Yeah, I didn't realize that
89 and counting.
89 and counting and looking good at 89.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of be quiet because what I want you and Sparkle to kind of have a little conversation, and I'm gonna keep tabs and kind of record this, and later on down the road we're gonna put some things together so that when people ask about Carter Gibson Humphrey and ask about our history, we'll be able to pull some stuff up. You know, you're going to be here at least another 20 years. But after that, you may not be here. And let's say 40 years, however long it's going to be. But after that, you won't be here. And we want to be able to, I want my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren to know who you are, know what about you, know about your history. So, Spark, I'm going to let you go ahead and kind of talk him through some discussions. So I'm going to let you go ahead. You got to speak up a little bit in the mic so we can hear you well. But go ahead, Spark.
Okay. Well, Uncle Moses, I really didn't have anything planned. Any questions planned? I know I enjoy talking to you and hearing your stories about school and everything. I'm always bragging on the fact that.
Turn it up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and I'm always, bragging on your education and everything, and all the things that I know of that you've done. So, Like Mary's always telling us how you were her math teacher and how she couldn't get away with it much in school because you were a teacher. And so I guess the thing that fascinates me the most is your educational background. What all schools did you go to, Uncle Moses?
And I went all over. Oh Lord, I went to Alabama State, Brown University. I've been to Atlanta University, Morehouse. I've been to Fisk. Oh Lord. I went to Tennessee State, and I went to the Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. for computers. That kind. They need a computer for that. I've been to about 6 or 7 schools.
Wow.
I can't think of all of them.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So all the schools I met.
And went to Tuskegee too. Been to Tuskegee too. I knew I somehow forgot.
So which I know? Okay, so Brown Ivy League, Uncle Moses. That's amazing. Which degrees did you get then?
Well, I got degrees in. It's all in chemistry and math. Those schools I went to, I either had a scholarship, academic year, or summer institute to go to school to further my studies in chemistry and math. In fact, the thing I went to Tuskegee 2 times. They gave me two different years to go. Went to Atlanta University 1 time, and went to Fisk. I forgot that one. Went to Fisk in Tennessee in chemical spectroscopy. It was some, in other words, these things is to specialize in chemistry. I got a master's plus in chemistry and math. I said plus because all the hours I got going to school was in chemistry and math, to just specialize in a certain part of it. So, I got not just in chemistry and math. When I went to school at Alabama State, get my first degree, I was in arts and sciences. In other words, specializing in chemistry and math. And when you're in arts and science, you can't teach.
Mm-hmm.
You just take in your specialty.
Mm-hmm.
But I went there on the GI Bill, and to get a full check in GI Bill, you had to carry so many hours.
Mm-hmm.
14 or 15 hours.
That sounds like a regular curriculum. Yep.
Okay, so I was carrying 22 hours.
What?
And I finished in 3 years.
22 hours, yeah.
I finished. So when I got to be a senior, well, I wasn't, by the end of my junior year, I had taken all the required courses that I need for the degree.
Mm-hmm.
So to get a full check, I can't carry no 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. I got to carry that. So I elected to get some hours in education. So I took these hours, and in other words, my mother was my dependent, so I had to get a full check.
Mm-hmm.
So I just elected to take some hours, and had about a year or so to finish. So I went on and took education courses. So when I got out of that, I had a picture up there. You see that picture?
Yeah.
There was 7 students, 7 people. You see that picture
Right
of me?
Is it okay to take down?
Yeah.
Okay. There you
Here. This group here
go. Mm-hmm.
was the only group. When I finished, I could get a dual degree.
Stay right there. Let me get that in the camera.
Get a dual degree in education
Wow.
and chemistry and math. There was
We got you.
400 and some students graduating,
Mm-hmm.
and only that group was could get a dual degree. I could get a degree in arts and science and also in education.
Wow.
So that's my other words, my last year in school for the first degree. My last whole year and more, I only had to do 4 hours in my major. And to get the full check, I elected to get some hours in education, enough to get a full check. And that's what I finished in. There's only 7 people. And these people here all got doctorate. In fact, Wallace, Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
he was over the chemistry and math. He was over the math department at Alabama State. He got his doctorate from at University of Alabama.
That's the second one from the right on the bottom?
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. He's sharp looking guy too.
He was some pretty heavy people in that group. So from there on, when I finished, I couldn't get a job in chemistry, not here.
Because
Just
black.
Just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm poor and need a job. So I looked around and see if I can get a job in teaching, since I was to do that. And teaching majors was teaching in chemistry or math was a rarity as far as blacks is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was in demand. So my principal at Carver High School, Mr. Thompson, I was a pretty good student. He told me that when I finished, I kept my grade up and all that,
Mm-hmm.
he gonna give me a job right there. So
That's Carver High. That's
Carver
Carver
High
right
School,
here.
Carver High School, same
Right
school,
in
Carver
Alabama.
High.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what happened is when I did finish, I had offers from out of state in the county, but to teach. And I was weighing that because that was all I had. So
Hold on, Uncle Mo. Let me put a pin in that. Sparkle, put a mark down on where we at, okay? Because what I want to do is I want to go back even farther. I want to call before you get all the way to that point. You got a whole lot of life that you done before you got to that part. And,
Well,
yeah, so I want to get back to let's start off at the beginning.
I wasn't.
What was your mother and father's name?
Oh, you on the family side?
Yeah. What was your mother and father's name?
Mother, Mary Gibson,
Your mother.
my mother.
Okay. And the father's name was what?
Uh, 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 Felix Carter.
Felix Carter. Okay. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Did I have?
Yeah.
I had 10.
You had 10. It's
5
10 of y'all.
boys and 5 girls.
5 boys and 5 girls. Okay. And where were you in that number?
About number 7.
Number 7.
About number 7. Because there was Louise, Felix, Mary, Joe, Gussie. Hold it. Am I right? Louise, sister, Mary, Gussie, and Lottie. That's the female. The male was Felix, Joe, John, Harry, and me.
So now, of the boys, what were you?
I was, the boys, I was Felix, Joe, John. I was 4th.
So you was 4th. So you was one of the younger boys.
Yeah.
So that means you got beat up a lot.
Harry and I was it.
Yeah, my daddy and then you.
Yeah.
So that means you got beat up a lot before my daddy came.
No, your dad was behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you was the youngest one till my daddy
I
came.
don't want to call it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Harry. So, I was the 4th boy.
Right.
Harry was the 5th.
Right.
So, Harry was the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
He was younger than Lottie. Lottie was the head.
He was the youngest. He was the youngest period of everybody.
Yeah,
All the brothers
yeah,
and sisters. So what kind of life did y'all have?
Hard.
When you say hard, what does that mean?
Hard. What I'm saying is, it's hard because it was 10 of us. Mother had a 7th or 8th grade education. Dad about the same. She was working. And working at Maxwell Field, $14 a week. And he was a jack of all trades. He had no education, like do everything, whatever. And it was just rough, because I'm saying rough because it was 10 of us. And we didn't have the things that you need to have during that time. I better say we wanted to have more, but they saw that they get what we need by what they could provide.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a rough life. Because as soon as somebody, whoever, Gussie, Louis, Joe, Felix, John, Mary, and Betty got out of that too. Got a certain age,
Yeah.
they may not, they probably didn't leave Montgomery, but they left home.
So one of the things that's hard for us young to understand is when you got that many children and you can't run to the store and just buy whatever you want. How did y'all get along? How did y'all get so tight? What did y'all needed to do to survive?
I said my daddy was a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
He could lay bricks. He could plow. In fact, he had some we didn't have the property. He rented the property. He raised food. He hunted. He was a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
He and several people who was very prominent, black. They had a hunting group and fishing group,
Mm-hmm.
and they were productive. Let me say this: we never went hungry.
Wow.
We didn't go hungry. Between him farming and hunting and fishing and whatever we kept food. We had food. I can say not any of us had one day where we didn't have food to eat. It may not have been what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody said, how off the hog? It was a part of the hog. Maybe the part of the hog you didn't want to eat. But he raised hogs and that type of thing too. And he hunted. So if any of my sisters and brothers said they were hungry because they wasn't provided something to eat, they're lying. They may want to eat something else,
Right.
and whatever. But my mother and father, 3 meals a day, they provided for you. And mother, bless her heart, she could cook. That would have made the whatever we had taste better because she know how to
Season it and get it right.
make it
Right.
whatever. And that was her strong point too. She could cook. So we had no problem with eating, but we had problem with we didn't have electricity. We didn't have running water, that type of thing. You'd go around the street, get water, bring it in. And whatever you had, we had to wear. It might have had a hole here and there, but it was clean.
Right.
It was clean. The clothes was hand-me-down. Whoever had it, passed it on down. And when it got to whoever else, you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
It was, might have had a hole or two in it,
But it was sewed up and
but it was sewed up. Had a patch on it, whatever, and it was clean. And another thing, too, that I want to make sure to tell somebody who may be listening to this, they wanted you to go to school. We had to go from where we stayed, Stella Street, to Jeff Davis, Lovelace school.
Mm-hmm.
Had to walk, it must have been about a mile or two, something like that. Might have been a little bit more than that. But nobody in the family, I'm going to say this because it's true, there was 10 of us, put up with what you had to do to go to school and whatever, walk, and then do that with me. All to a certain, some of them, all, including those who are still living, went to about the 9th, maybe 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But they got out because they wanted to get out, not because my mother and father didn't encourage you to go.
So with going back a mile, walking back to school, that means a lot of y'all just didn't go to school sometimes.
They went to my mother and father, made them go.
Right.
And when they got to the point where they couldn't make them go, then they got out. Out of that and got out of the house too.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing. They if you stay in that house, you're going to school, whatever house it was. And we've never rented,
Really?
never rented. There's a house from the town we on Franklin Street
Mm-hmm.
to this side of town. We lost a house on Franklin Street. Of course, it was relative, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when we came to this side of town, from that point on, Stella Street, Ajax Street,
Mm-hmm.
we was in school. We wasn't rented. We stayed on Stella Street two places. One on one end, stayed on the other end. And the second house on Stella Street was about the front door was about 10 feet from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Big house, but 10 feet. And that was too close to the street. And that's when we moved from there here to Ajax Street. But one of the things I want you to know, Daddy and Mother want you to go to school. And just as determined as they were to do whatever to get you in school, whatever, we had some sisters and brothers that's determined not to go. You understand me?
Right.
So a butt whooping was common. In fact, your teachers always whoop you then.
Mm-hmm.
Your neighbor whoop you then. And they tell you, they send us a report that you wasn't in school or missed school. You'd rather for your teacher to whoop you than them to tell mother and dad about it.
That's what I heard. I heard that Grandfather Felix was a real disciplinarian.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Now, mother was not a disciplinarian as far as
Physical.
whatever. She was disciplinarian for doing things,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't disciplinarian by enforcing, by whooping you, by punishing you.
Mm-hmm.
She'll talk to you. But Daddy would actually whoop you.
It was quicker.
With anything he get his hand on.
What was one of the worst whoopings you got from me that you can remember? Or if not you, one of your brothers and sisters?
I saw Felix, Joe, John, Harry didn't. Louise, maybe, Mary, Gussie, all the people old and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why they want to get the heck out of Dodge, you understand, to get away from that. And as soon as they could, they got out. And both of them wasn't more than 16, maybe 15, 16 years old.
So do you think that Grandfather Felix was too hard on you guys?
No, that's what I thought then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it now. I think what they were doing was the right thing to do. They couldn't enforce it any other way. They were trying to enforce what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, by today's standard, you can look at a kid and the kid say, and go to police now and tell them mistreatment.
Mm-hmm.
But then it wasn't a look. It was an act of physically whatever. No, I'm gonna ask you a question just like I intend to answer that. It wasn't I took, I had physical beating.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped doing whatever it was I got a physical beating. That would stop doing what I told to do.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the physical beating. It stopped the talk about the beating.
So it was fair.
So that's why I stayed, and that's why I progressed. They were trying to stop you from not doing what they want you to do. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And they try to enforce it. Okay? You can go to mother about what daddy whoop you or about whatever. She would talk to you or whatever. But she would never confront dad about whooping you. Maybe about the extent of the whooping you got,
Mm-hmm.
but not about the whooping yourself. She wouldn't do that. So it was just I would say, and somebody gonna hear this, I don't know. You had some hard-headed people when I was a boy coming up, in my family, my sisters and brothers. It's like you got some hard people now.
Mm-hmm.
With situations, different from they didn't have the drug situation and the alcohol situation like it is now. But they had some other things you were doing that were detrimental to you progressing and being disciplined. Now, and I had some hard-headed sisters and brothers. Just like I had some hard-headed sisters and neighbors and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing to the extent that they could. And in some cases, they knew it was going to get back. And they knew what the situation was going to be, what the consequences was going to be. But they still did it.
Spark, you got any questions that I'm missing that you're thinking about right now? I don't want to leave you out.
No, I'm listening.
I see her shaking her head.
Yeah, so because what ran through my mind was, give me some ideas of some of the things you and your brothers and sisters did. Whether it be fun, whether it be discipline, what was some? How did you guys survive in that kind of environment?
That's a question. You didn't have playgrounds. You didn't have bicycles. You couldn't go to movies because you didn't have the money to go. And to answer that, I'm gonna have to be smarter than I think I am. How did you survive?
How did y'all do it? What did y'all do?
I think they survived by getting out of the situation at home as soon as they could.
But before you get out, you had to be there. What did y'all do while y'all were there?
Everything right and wrong. You everything you thought was right that wouldn't get you disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And when that didn't suffice, you did something wrong.
Prime example, you go to school. Everybody go to school. Y'all walk a mile and a half to get to school.
More than that.
Okay. Y'all get out of school. When y'all leave school, what do y'all do?
Well, I tell you what I did. I came straight home. Because that didn't get me in any trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the other sisters and brothers might have went this way, that way, and they had a time period supposed when they would get home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They went with a friend or something, did something or whatever, and got home late or something like that, and they would whatever. But what I did, since I knew I had something to do, get water or something like that when I got home, I came straight home and started doing it.
Well, put a pin in there, right? So what kind of chores did you have to do when you came? What kind of chores did y'all have to do Like you said, get water. What does that
Okay.
mean, get
Now,
water?
Okay, water. See, you didn't have running water in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you had to go around the street to get it.
Was it a well or where'd you
No,
go?
it was there was one or some houses sparsely.
Mm-hmm.
There was about 200 or 300 yards from the house.
Mm-hmm.
Go around the street, they had running water,
Okay.
hydrant outside,
Okay. Okay.
and you made a deal with them. You get your water.
So these guys, y'all had to pay for that water.
And some of them didn't charge you.
Okay.
They knew, you know, you didn't have, you didn't have. These were black person who had running water.
Okay.
They knew situation, and they didn't let everybody do it. They had people who they agreed to do it to come and get the water,
Okay.
water to wash with, and all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, the same thing. They didn't charge. If they did, it wasn't very much. You know, little or nothing.
So you got to go and get buckets of water and bring it to the house.
Bucket of water. In bucket, water bucket.
To take care of 10 children and 2
And
parents.
in fact, we had to, and had to go get wood. You had to burn wood and coal.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't electric. No electric.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, you had to go hustle. You had to go at some wood yards.
Lumber yards. Yeah.
No, not lumber yard. Some black people had wood yards
Mhm.
where they cut wood to sell.
Okay.
And we
Did you
Just
use
so
like,
happened-
did you have your wheelbarrows and stuff to move that stuff?
We had a wagon or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And sometimes it'd be a sack. And some of those places, wood yard, they let you get the bark. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want you to get the wood. You know. So they let you get the bark that you cut off
Off the tree.
Tree.
Yep.
but you stuck some wood in there under it. And you can get the sawdust.
Mm-hmm.
It burned quick too, but you put sawdust in your thing too.
That
So-
helped the wood burn too.
Huh?
That would help the wood burn too, but sawdust underneath it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want the wood to burn fast like the sawdust would do.
Right.
So sawdust more or less to start it.
Yep. Yep.
So, and you had your places to go that every neighborhood had 3 or 4 places in it somewhere where they had they bring in wood and they cut the wood and chop it up and stack it up and sell it. And in my neighborhood they had 2. And you wouldn't get your wood primarily from that. You go find wood, log or whatever, and you bring them home, cut them up, had a handsaw,
Mm-hmm.
saw the thing, you know. So it was, it was, and we got coal. You used coal. Now coal you bought.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get that in the other way. And you had places that sold wood and sold coal, sacks of coal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you bought your sacks. I don't know what you paid for it, but it's something that you didn't have money to do. But you got sacks of coal in the house. So it's my job to get the water that you drink, and the water you put a bathtub, not bath, a number of 2 tubs. I tell a joke sometimes. It had a 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a number in the tub, then on the bottom of it, coming up. I told, I sat on that doggone thing, taking a bath so many times, I got a number on my butt. So, yeah, so you took a bath, tub, certain type, you sit in it, knees up, and you get your water so warm, you heat it on the stove.
Okay.
Pour it in a tub, too hot. And then what happened is you have some more heat. You get in the tub, that warm. So you pour more water in as you
Wash.
took the bath. So you wash the same way. You have to go get the water. You wash every Friday or every Saturday.
Because you just didn't have enough water.
Had a bit of pot, a big pot. You knew whose job it was to get the water. And my sisters, if they stayed there, Gussie, Mary, Louise, and maybe Betty, they didn't get that far, but they knew that they're going to be doing the washing. They're going to wash. And your job to get the water, make the fire around the thing, pot to heat the water, and that kind of thing. And they use them rubbles.
Oh yeah.
Old-fashioned rubble.
They clean the clothes, yeah.
Oxygen soap. Oxygen soap, that's the name of it.
Oxygen soap.
Oxygen. Oxygen soap. And it also had a soap called lye soap.
Lye, yep, lye.
You put lye in, whatever, lye soap, get it clean. And you wash them. I got a picture of John standing up there with some overalls on, the tote. And you have to make sure, one of the boys had to make sure that the fire around the pot is kept burning so they kept getting the water hot. Anyway, everybody had a part to play in everything we did before it been done. And some of those things you feel like you too big or too old to do or too grown to do, you got in trouble.
That's when mom and dad had to remind you.
You know what I'm saying? Now, mother, on all the washing and all the cooking, she was engineered. She be deputy engineer. She gonna have a part in it. That don't mean she gonna tell you. She gonna teach you. But in the actual doing,
She gonna be doing something too.
now Dad would never be there on that. He would know that before been done, you tell, you get the water, you get whatever, that kind of thing. So it's just that was part of it. And as far as time off, if you wasn't in school, you wasn't at home doing something need to be done, that didn't leave no time for off. And then the time off, you ain't had nowhere to go nowhere. No park, no recreation. You played football or basketball in a field, in a lot, field. You didn't have a ball. You did. So, play football or whatever, basketball, baseball.
Stick
Your
ball.
bat was a stick. or a tin can or whatever. So it was self-made. Now there was some person had the advantage that we didn't have.
No.
They live on paved street. They had a park that was in a black neighborhood. Didn't have anything in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have pavement or something like that. To get to a place that had the pavement in it, basketball court, we had to go all the way from where we stayed down to Washington Park. And Washington Park, they had park. But it was park and name only. It didn't have anything that the real park had.
Just an open space.
The building, you go in, you didn't have full deck of dominoes, you didn't have a full deck of cards, you didn't have a ping pong. You had a ping pong table, you didn't have a ping pong to play with. Oh, that's the kind of thing we're talking about. Basketball court, they had maybe one ball. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
50 people want to play, one ball. You had to wait to. So it was go to movie was downtown, Pekin Theater. Anybody from Montgomery know it? Pekin Theater. It was, we used to go down, it cost about 12 cents, 10 or 12 cents to go, 15 cents to go. And you had to walk all the way from where you are down there. You couldn't ride the bus. So it was, and mother would see that those who stayed in the house, like me, you had to, he'd give me a quarter to go to the movie with, whatever. But you had to walk to it, you had to walk all the way back from downtown. And I can't say this for anybody, like Harry was the youngest. As soon as Harry didn't finish high school either. He went to about 8th, 9th grade, went to the service.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he got to the point where they wouldn't go to school, they got pressure on them for not going to school, they got out. So we're talking about 15, 16, 17 years old. They didn't get 17, about 50, from 15 to about 16 years old. And the girls dropped out sooner than that, the female.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, Louise, Gussie, Lottie, Betty, I think Betty, I think Jackie was her oldest daughter. Jackie, I think Betty got pregnant with Jackie.
Oh.
And she got pregnant with Jojo, Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
And she had 2 kids. And she left, went to New Jersey. That's where Freddie was born.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's all. As soon as Betty stayed longer than any of them.
Now Betty was closer to you in age.
Betty's next to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm 89, Betty 88.
Okay.
It's 1 year apart. So Betty stayed and she went to New Jersey. stayed longer than Betty, about a year or so. But she was at the house.
Moved
When
out.
she left, she went to New York.
Oh, okay.
That's why Betty and Lottie was, Betty in New Jersey, Lottie in New York.
That's how that bro. Okay.
That's how.
That's how you get that split
That's-
where the groups are. Okay.
It was interesting. Interesting on Betty. She went to New Jersey and didn't have a. Betty ended up with 2 or 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
She bought not the bedroom, not the bed. She got the mattress,
Mm-hmm.
box spring or whatever you want to call it. And they slept on it
Wow. Okay.
till she got the bed. And after she got the bed, she got something else. That's why I love her. Didn't get rid of her children. They slept on the floor together. Pallet to the bed, mattress, or what you want to call it, to the bed, to the bedroom suit. Called it holy hell with her children, but she didn't,
And how did you stay in touch with her?
huh?
How did you stay in touch with her while she was in New Jersey and you was still in Alabama?
Oh man. Oh, see, during that time, I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
I was in high school. Betty had already, when I got out of high school, Betty had already gone away from there. See, Betty, and I was in school during the time when Betty left here. And I finished high school, and Betty she stayed in church.
Okay.
She stayed in touch with Mother.
That was the key.
Mother
Everybody
knew
kept-
every
Yeah.
damn crooked turn she made. But Mother made sure she contacted her.
Right.
And Betty was in good with Mother. She wasn't, no negativism about home with Betty. Mother, she told her several times, you make a mistake once. I make a mistake first child. That's a big mistake. Anybody entitled to a mistake. Well, when Betty got pregnant, whatever, Mother got on. Never turned her back on her. Never said anything other than something encouraging to her. That's why Betty loved the heck out of Mother.
Talk a little bit about Mother. Talk
Huh?
a little bit about Mother. I mean, because she's had 10 children. You guys have went through all this ups and downs, all the problems. How did she do? What kind of woman was she that she could do all of that and still survive?
She was a Wonder Woman. I studied that myself too. I saw the kind of person Dad was, and I saw the kind of situation my home life was, the life I was into, the life my sister and brother was subject to. And I studied Mother, how could she do whatever? How could she adjust to and still try to keep us happy and be a bridge between all the things that we're going to be confronted with. First place, she thought education would be the way out of it. Stay in school so you can won't get into this. So I go back to that. Then we didn't have, because we didn't have the means to buy. So she made the adjustment on all of us who was in the house to find something that you could be able to do from this point of not being able to doing it. Not being find something you can want to do. And the next, not the next 10 years, but the next year, they're gonna be able to help yourself make an adjustment. Now I'm saying something now. I'm glad you asked me that question. How did she? That's why she was such a pillar, because it wasn't one of them things where you could instantly do. You couldn't instantly do it. And probably, with the exception of me, there wasn't anybody who could see that you can, the light at the end of the tunnel. Go to school, people knew right away that ain't gonna be it. But whatever job that you can get while you're in this thing, you can help yourself on. And at that time, an education wasn't required for most jobs. Education wasn't required for even a teacher's job as far as black is concerned. You can go to college. You can finish high school. They had people who finished, black who finished high school,
They was
teaching
Yep.
high school.
Wow, that is deep.
Oh yeah. So education was it. But it had such a need for teachers, black teachers, to so you finished high school and went to college for 1 year. You could teach in a black school. But you had to go during the summer, had to go back to school and
Get some more. Right. You gotta be working towards.
yeah, but so it wasn't necessary to have a degree to get a job in. So you can get a job in just about anything. And okay, postman, teachers was a thing. Okay, so anyway, OJT,
On the job training.
on the job training, was important then. So she encouraged you to go some job where they can train you. That was not an option for some of those, my sisters and brothers, who didn't want to go through that. They couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel there. Okay? So the encouragement from her is what kept going. That's why Betty left.
Alabama
She,
went to.
whatever. Betty never stopped. She got it. Betty got it. I got it. Betty never stopped. Kept on till Betty got a job doing something. And she ended up at the naval station in Philadelphia.
Naval base.
I mean, Betty went up. She was doing something all the time on job. I don't mean grocery store. Betty had it. John, when he left and went to Michigan for something better. Not school. He went to a steel mill.
Oh, I didn't know he did steel mill.
That's what he went up to. And so there was Sonny, left, Harry, your dad, he left, went straight to the army. And they ain't thought about it. The army was a place you go. You can be trained there. So Harry, Betty, and one or two others had it in them to whatever. The rest of them just stayed where they are, doing something. But so it was, mother was a pillar. And since she talked so softly and so, no, not forceful or anything, most persons didn't hear. But it's like one of them kind of situations when somebody talk, you ought to listen. And sometimes when you listen for learning. Listen for learning. You understand? Not listening so you can hear. See if you can understand what he's saying here. And that's what she was taught. So my dad just opposite. You pay attention to him because he was.
Was he a big guy or?
No, he wouldn't. Dad wouldn't. He was about 5'8",
Okay.
5'9",
And then
5'9".
and then
But he was.
mother was she was small.
Oh, yeah, mother was might not have been 5 feet. Mother about 4 feet, about 4.5 feet, 5 feet.
I remember when she was older.
Yeah. But Dad wasn't. He was built solid. I say he about 5'9". Five. I wouldn't say 5'10". He about 5'9", something like that. But
But she was just something special. She was just.
he talked. You had to hear him because he was a threat.
Okay.
Mother wasn't a threat. You know what I'm saying? That's why most people didn't pay attention to her. Who did? They heard her, mannerable, yes ma'am, but that mind wasn't going to change no mind. You sit and talk to me about business, family business. And she's the only person that called me Cunningham. I would call me sometime. She think she said to me, you have to have me doing something, and I was throwing around on it. She said, she called me and said, make haste, Cunningham. Make haste. Cunningham.
And you know she's serious now.
And that's the first time I ever heard the word haste.
Okay.
And I looked it up, speed it up.
Make haste, Cunningham.
Make haste, Cunningham. And that's the way she would talk. And that's kind of way she talked. And that kind of talk with somebody who talk blunt to you, you don't pay no attention to that kind of talk. That's the kind of person she was. She wasn't forceful in her vocabulary and words. But the words she said, if you understood them, they were forceful.
Okay. You said she didn't graduate high school.
Huh?
She didn't graduate high school though.
No. Mother was in 7th grade.
7th grade, yeah.
7th grade. 7th grade. But she was. She knew the value of education. Everybody black, as a rule, 90% of them was self-taught, OJT. Even though they laid bricks, learned how
Somebody else taught them how to do it.
working on cars, until the cars get to like they are now, everything's computerized.
Mm-hmm.
That put those people working mechanic out of business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
self-made ones, yeah. You got to go to school.
Now you got.
You got to go to school to learn now.
So that's where my dad was. He was self-taught.
Right.
He could do anything. Electric work, whatever.
Now, I know mother lived a long time. How long did the granddaddy before he died?
Oh, Dad was. Gussie was. I was. Still in school.
High school or college?
High school.
High school, okay. When he died.
Still high school. Gussie was about 21.
So how did that affect you guys when the breadwinner, the handyman, the all-around man, the jack of all trade left the environment? How did that affect y'all?
Well, that didn't affect us. As far as the person, John and her, John had left. I think John had left home before then.
Okay. So Uncle John left really early.
And yeah, and John had gone to Michigan.
Cleveland,
Gussie was still staying on West Street, on Hercules Street.
Mm-hmm.
But she was still. No, Gussie was still trying to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when she died. When she died, she almost. I almost said it. There was a Joe Felix, Mary Louise, Gussie. Those were one ahead of me. They was just about already determined that it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They were still dependent, and they depended on home, mother, but they wasn't all. They were still dependent.
They were independent themselves, but they depended on the mother to
That's
keep
right.
everybody together.
That's right.
Okay.
Mother was they still having problems
She was still the glue.
adjusting to what they were trying to adjust to.
Right.
And they was calling home and whatever. It's my daily.
Mm-hmm.
Although they were somewhere in whatever. And he, if anything, he was a deterrent
Okay.
to them getting what they wanted from home. If anything, Dad was.
Now, was he sick a long time, or did he just? How did he die?
He got killed.
Oh, okay.
He got killed down in Washington Park.
Really?
Up some, you get off work, go down and drink, the place down to a shot house.
Mm-hmm.
Got killed down there.
Fight or?
No, or fussing or something like that. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a bunch of bees on a hive,
Mm-hmm.
and you see one of them, and you can take that out and say this is like all the rest of them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying it that way. If he's down doing gambling and drinking,
Mm-hmm.
then of course everybody around him is same kind.
Same kind. Right.
Oh, he might have went there once a week. There was somebody else who was there that once a week, or sometime,
Right.
including the one who ran the place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he was surrounded. he was going with people who were similar to him in doing what they were doing. So that's what happened on that. Anyway, Gusser was relieved.
Okay.
When you heard about it,
Mm-hmm.
she heard, and she was staying in her own house during that time. But she was daily coming
Checking on-
home.
Checking on my mother.
Mother, talking to mother about something, couldn't make a job. Married to, although they were staying somewhere, Louis, Joe, still. So it was a relief to them. I'm going to say that.
I understand.
It was a relief. Because he was a hindrance. For mother wanted to do,
And he was hard on mother too.
she wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and bending over to try to make that work, whatever, he was on her for doing it.
Okay.
For me, it wasn't no adjustment at all. Wasn't no adjustment at all. I think I was the only one still in the house shortly after that. Because at the funeral, mother had assigned me to be the person to make all the arrangements, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the only person. And Sonny, your dad, had just gone to the army to get away from that.
Right. Why'd y'all call him Sonny?
Huh?
Why'd y'all call him Sonny? Why'd y'all call him Sonny?
That's his nickname.
How you get the nickname?
Sonny?
Yeah.
We call him Sonny.
Well, how y'all come up? Because he was the youngest one. Where did Sonny come from?
Oh. Happy mother. Happy mother. They'd call him Sonny.
So again, she's in the mix of it, just about everything that happened in the family.
Huh?
Again, she's in the mix about everything that happened in the family.
If it happened, it came out of that bowl with her.
Okay.
And she had to be the genius with the education she had and the means she had to still try to reach out to the worst, whoever the worst of us is, to the best of us is.
Mm-hmm.
And include Dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was a hindrance of everything going out and coming.
Mm-hmm. The growth of everybody.
And she's still working.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she was still working too?
Oh, shit, yeah. She working. She was working in the macrofield during the time, in the laundry, making $14 an hour. She was a cook.
Mm-hmm.
Before then. She was a cook. For one of the richest person here in Montgomery, Hudson Thompson.
Okay.
Winn-Dixie
Oh.
grocery.
Yeah.
Hudson and Thompson, that's what it was called before. And then it went to Winn-Dixie.
Mm-hmm.
Thompson was the one that got me a job with the school system. She was still cooking for him.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's another story. I ain't got time for that.
We got plenty of time. Got plenty of tape.
Well, what happened was I got out of college.
Oh wait, no, we ain't.
Okay.
Oh, remember that, Sparkle. We gotta once you get to college, remember that note.
When I got out of college.
Don't go to college before you get to college.
I finally got out. My principal, Mr. Thompson, William Thompson, told me, said, boy, goddamn, if you go to college, you get out, I'm gonna get you a job. You teach right here.
So when you was in high school, he told you that.
Told me that. I was in high school.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I was a pretty good student.
At that time, that's right. You was telling me. Yeah.
Oh,
Now let me ask you a question. Did your brothers and sisters think that you were the little tattletale, goody two shoes? Were you the goody two shoes of the family?
Huh?
Did your brothers and sisters think you were the goody two shoes of the family?
Mother.
So you was mother's boy.
No,
Okay. No?
I was her boy. I was her favorite, but not in the sense of whatever. Because by me staying in school and doing whatever, I took care of business and she knew that she can come through me.
Okay.
When I was in the service,
You was dependable. You was dependable.
she was my dependent. You know what I'm saying?
And I saw a picture over there before you go any farther. Did you play football in college or that's
Oh, that's high school.
high school? That's you played football in high school.
Yeah, that's John too. John number 14.
John, I'm 14.
And I'm right there in the center. John right behind me.
Let me slide this thing over right quick. Let me take a picture. I was looking at that.
Shit. Yes, sir. John number 14.
I thought that was you when I looked at you number 9. So John was number 14.
From the left, second row. I think the third person, isn't it?
No, so on the first row, on the knees. So you number 9 on your knees and
I'm on the first row.
on the first row, and
John is on the second row.
he not number because number 14 is right next to you.
Well, no, John ain't number 14. I'll show you where he is.
Okay.
Oh, the hell. Shit, I can't see. Yeah, but yeah, man, John. That's John right there, number 17.
Number 17. Okay. Now, what position did you play?
Quarterback.
Oh, you was a quarterback?
Mm-hmm. And that's the other one right here, number 13.
Number 13.
Willie Lawson.
And then Uncle John, what position he play?
Oh, here?
Yeah.
He was just a defensive back.
Okay.
Oh, he's a defensive back.
So, yeah, he is up there. So, Uncle John right there, right?
That's John right there.
All right. And so, he was the defensive back. So, you was a quarterback. I mean, you was pretty good.
Yeah, I was
You was
good.
starting quarterback?
John was a center. John was a center. He was a center.
Okay.
He played center.
Did he?
Yeah.
So, what kind? Were y'all good team, bad team? What kind of team were y'all?
I only played 1 year.
Okay.
We transferred from Loveless down over to Carver. We was the first class to graduate from Carver. 1950.
Mm-hmm.
We transferred in before Christmas, 49. Walked down to the school. So we got in January, and we went to May
Okay.
1950, June, and we graduated. So we were the first class to finish Carver High School. John was in school then, but the next year I went to the service.
So you went from high school to service,
Yeah,
like my dad.
yeah, the service. And
Now, how'd you end up not going? How long were you in the service?
4 years,
So you did 4 years.
Air Force 4 years. What?
Well, there you go.
Hey, right there.
Let's see, let me get that picture there. So yeah, I see you there. Now, what you do in the Air Force?
That's another. Oh boy, that's another story.
Oh, you sharp looking guy in the Air Force.
Yeah,
You was a looker. Man, look at you. That ain't you. That right there you?
huh?
That's you right there?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Ooh, lady man. Got that little bit of mustache, the pin line mustache.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh boy, you ain't got enough tape. I went to you don't put on. Anyway, that's
So you did 4 years in the military.
Yes, I did. 4 hard years. What?
How'd you decide to do Air Force?
Okay. When I,
And this is before you went to
got out of high
college.
school,
You went out of high school. You went to the Air Force.
Yeah.
How you pick Air Force?
they was drafting people then. So then, so if you didn't want to be drafted, be put in what they want to put you in, you could take a test.
Oh, okay. That's how. Okay, okay.
I took the test downtown. You make a certain score, you can go to the Air Force.
Yep.
Or you go to any service you want. You make another score, you can go to the Army or whatever.
Well, let's just say you make a lower score.
Low score, you go whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Make a certain score, you're exempt from it.
Right.
I made the score, and to top it all, there's about 400 of us in there taking that test. And the man took the test, scored it, came out. He said, stay to hit school, we call, come out and call, let you know, whatever. They came out and said, called my name. They called my name. Carter. Somebody else. They called about 25 names out of that 400 something. And he said, you can go to any branch of service you want.
Wow.
Because, well, all right. So I went.
And that's a point. That's a point. Even then, it was because you had studied yourself so well. And now, because of this, now you can choose where you want to go versus not doing all the work you're supposed to do. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's going to get even better.
Okay. Okay.
So I went in, that was November. They're going to let me stay here till Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I won't then go. So I stayed thinking, and I went to Lackland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Basic training. You get there, they give you some more tests. So when you decide what you
In the Air Force.
qualify to do.
Right.
Took that battery test, took all day. Came out and told me, said, Carter, you can be an airplane mechanic, you can be a meteorologist, you can be
Wow. Top of the line.
all the technical.
Yeah.
Said, Carter, your scope is that you can do it, you can go to any school they have in Air Force.
Wow.
Now wait a minute, you ain't. And to top that all, when I went into service, okay, they said also, you can also take the OCS test, office candidates.
Yeah, candidate school. Yeah. That's crazy.
To be in, oh, wait a minute, you ain't.
That's crazy.
I ain't through with you. I was able to do that. So what I did, I said, let me sign me up for that. She said, okay. You got me signed up for that, took it. That was in 1950. I passed the OCS test. They came out and told, out of that group that took it,
Mm-hmm.
there was about 50 to 75 who took that test. And like, they said, you passed. Only about 6 of us passed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the black. Ain't no other black
Yeah.
nowhere around.
Right.
That's the only black. So, but here's the hindrance. They had a special situation and I didn't know about. To go to OCS school, you couldn't have a dependent. And my mother was my dependent. Wait, hold it.
Okay.
Now that was known, but it didn't known by me.
You didn't know it, right?
All the white guys who took it, they knew about that situation. They were married, they got
They,
divorced before
they cleaned everything
on
up.
record.
Right.
They had a dependent, they dropped them before they took it.
Yeah.
And if they passed it, they picked them up after they got
Afterwards.
the
Right.
pass.
Yep. You didn't know.
So here I am. All right. I said, what I'm gonna do now? Concentrate on the school. Every school you go to, they got a certain amount of months you got to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Every mechanic, airplane mechanic, jet, mechanic, whatever, all that was for you. I think you had, it was 36 months, 3 years of school. Now I'm in for 4 years.
Right.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Meteorologist, that's important too. Because plane needs to know all about
Planes, right? And air.
that.
Weather
That
and
was,
everything, yeah.
that was 5 years
Wow.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Some other technical thing, all that kind was 24 months, whatever. 4 years, whatever. All that big stuff that I was. So I said, which means if you go to school, but when you get out, you got to re-enlist. Because they ain't going to be that training without you.
Yeah. Up until by the time you stayed.
I said, fuck this shit. Damn, I hope you ain't listening. I said, the hell with this shit. I can't go to OCS school, and I can't get into one of them damn school like I want to get in it. I'm going to re-enlist. I'm going to find something. I'm going to find something over here that ain't, I'm going to be able to get out on time. Personal equipment technician. That in Chinook Air Force Base, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
What it was, there's a school that the pilot, the parachute,
Mm-hmm.
and anything that had to do with it, with parachute, life raft, survival, kind of thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I took it. It was $12 weeks. Not 12 weeks.
Okay.
12 weeks. No, a year. It was a year.
Yeah, 12 months.
So I took it. Now I went in in November 1950.
Mm-hmm.
January 1951, 1 year after I going through whatever, that's before I went to tech school. As I got 3 stripes. Time I went to tech school and finished. Got 3 stripes. I had 3 stripes.
You were buck sergeant.
3 stripes inside of 1 year.
Wow.
Hadn't even, I got with the tech school, finished, and they sent me to Savannah, Georgia. I had 3 years ago, 4 out of 4 years, I had already had 3 stripes.
Wow.
I didn't get another stripe. I went overseas 3 times.
Really?
Wait a minute. Listen to this now. I was in what you call Strategic Air Command.
I know that. I take care of those guys.
That's Monster. That's Bomber. General LeMay. And I was at Hunter Air Force Base in Savannah, Georgia. Now what Strategic Air Command does is that it go all the bases. I had about 10 bases. Every 3 to 6 months, one of them bases go overseas somewhere.
Right.
And when that 3 to 6 months over, another base go over and take its place. Another place. I went overseas 3 times. North Africa, went to England twice, went to North Africa once, went to England twice. But they don't take the whole base. They take a certain amount of planes, and they take the personnel
That takes care of those
who are
planes.
going to take care of the planes.
Yep.
I was the only person, not the mechanic, but the thing that concerning the parachutes and all that other stuff, safety stuff. I was the only person to go over. I had to take out in that hang. I was the only person 3 times.
Wow.
Okay, now listen to this now. One of the time going over, the last time, going over the desert, going to North Africa. Looked down, and a plane had crashed,
Oh.
fighter plane. We got to the place, we found out that it's one of the planes that we had. Goddamn, I go and be there about a week. In comes some pilots with in place with the shoot with the damn the suits on and all that shit on and with
Tuskegee guys?
huh?
What is Tuskegee?
No, whatever the bomber pilot have the suits and all that
Yeah.
stuff on. They come and I'm on it. Everybody else in the shop is English. I'm the only American in there take care of the American plane. So where's I'm the only black. He said, we want to see Sergeant Carter. I heard him talking to white. What do you want? He came to me and said, I want to shake your hand. The chute said, we was coming over and the plane had,
The plane y'all saw.
the chute they had to come out on, jump out on,
Was the ones you
the one I had.
Wow. So you guys flew by, saw the plane on the ground that crashed. You land, you over in the area, and one of the guys who was on that plane parachuted out, and then he came and
Two
thanked
of
you
them.
guys.
Two of them who was
The pilot
on that
and the
plane.
co-pilot, yeah.
So,
Wow. That's satisfying. That's saying that makes you know you're doing something.
boy, hell, all this time. and I had 3 stripes after I had 3 stripes with 3 years to go.
Wow. That's unheard of.
In 3 years,
a buck
they bypassed me on. I mean, all the white guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
Get promoted, and I didn't get 1 goddamn stripe.
After that.
And the top is all. Here come I got 6 months to go to get out.
Mm-hmm.
They all let you know ahead of
Yep,
time.
Yep. They
Here
ready.
come the base commander.
They ready to promote you.
In the shop where I went. That's right.
Uh huh.
Sergeant Carter, you see, you gonna get. You try to get me to re-enlist,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't re-enlist if it had not been for the GI Bill coming out.
They gave you some money for education.
See, when I went in, they didn't have the GI Bills.
Right.
You have to go to school.
While you was in. Yeah.
But they passed it about 6 or 7 months before I got out. I said, that's my
Your ticket.
because I was gonna re-enlist.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is my insurance to go to school. So here comes the base commander. Sergeant Carter, we know you are been bypassed and whatever. But you re-enlist, we give you, see you get your another. I thought that you kiss my ass. If I didn't say it that way, I said something
that way.
You know what I'm saying? I said, you go to hell, you motherfucker. I had already been let the Lord said so I could go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I went to school, got that GIP, that's what my mother was my dependent in the service. When I got the GIP, she was my dependent on that. So I was quality person as far as being qualified.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For everything. Even going in the service and whatever. And yet I didn't, them suckers didn't. And the only black in the shop,
Mm-hmm.
in Savannah, where the base thing was. The only black in the shop.
Yeah.
Master sergeant, staff sergeant, tech sergeant, 3 stripes, all of them white. I'm only black in the shop.
Yep.
And I went over 3 times representing the whole base for that shop.
And still didn't get credit for it.
And I'm getting 6 months from getting out. The man will tell me, "We'll see you get your stripe, get another stripe." I said, "You take it." I thought you take that stripe and stick it up your foot. Anyway, so that was my thing. So I've been very good on being prepared, qualified.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll tell you that the being, yeah, that's what I got messed over in the service.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when I went to, I got a thing up here, Department of Navy. The Department of Defense gave me a thing.
A plaque.
I got hurt. That's the thing I want you to know about. I was what you call an analytical chemist.
Wow.
Analytical chemist.
Mm-hmm.
Analytical means come from the word analyze.
Mm-hmm.
So this place where we were working on explosive chemistry. Some got nitrogen in it.
Mm-hmm.
The very nature of that whole place I was working at was explosive. That include propeller. At the time, there were this rocket going space,
Mm-hmm.
and the fuel for the rocket was made at the place where I
You was working at.
was.
Right.
And at the time, it was liquid fuel. liquid fuel. And liquid fuel, anything got liquid in it is heavy. So you're limited. That's what they're making cars lighter now, because the lighter the car, the less trouble you have, the less force you can have gas you have to push it.
Right.
To get that rocket up into space, to go like that, the liquid was heavy. So they were limited as to how much they could put in there. So they went to propellant, solid fuel. And solid fuel is, you can compress it, and if you burn it, you can burn it slower. Because the more you compress it, the harder you get, like a rock,
Thicker it is,
the slower it's going to burn.
Right.
But it's still burning. Get liquid, like gas. So it went into propellant. They call it U.S. Naval Propellant Plant.
Okay.
So we started making propellants. And that means anything that needs to be propelled. We also were doing this. Let me call it this. I won't get plastic explosion.
Okay.
During the time, the war, 1950s, we had some stuff in the war called plastic explosion that wasn't going off. People putting it down and it wasn't going off, it wasn't exploding. It was doing it, but another batch of it was. So they came in to the shop. I was in the shop at the time. I just came back from home. Thanksgiving. They told me when I came back, I would be transferred to the next lab to be the head of that lab. So I came home, went back, went into the lab. They assigned me to there's 3 labs: quality control, quality assurance, research and development. I went to quality control. I mean, control the quality to go into whatever. I mean, you got to test it.
Parts, yeah.
So they came in the lab to let me know. My boss said, who's the black guy from South Carolina, went to South Carolina State, came in to the lab with 3 white persons from the Pentagon. Closed the door, told me they had what the situation was, they did, and they had some stuff stored in silos. Millions and millions and millions of dollars of it. And they want to test some of this stuff in silos, or they go to silo, get it, and make it. So I wasn't doing anything. All I was doing in that lab was I was told to observe the personnel and the procedure so I can know who to make assignments to.
Okay.
And that's all I was doing. So she said, well, will you step down? Incidentally, the lab I had them transferred from was where the stuff was. So they wanted to best person on record. So my boss came and got me. Suggested them, they got it. Would I step down and run a test on some of it?
Mm-hmm.
I told them I would. And they had the lab set up. They brought in a batch. I'm in a lead floor, lead walls in the room where I am, ceiling, and a window.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran analysis on it. 13 tests they call it, drop tests, heat tests, whatever, scratch, all that. On analysis of it, wrote it up, sent it in to them. They took it, came and picked it up, went to Pentagon, studied it, came back. And they said, well, we got another batch, another place, Knoxville, Kentucky, whatever. And since would I run a batch test on it? I did. I said, well, okay. And that was stuff went off on me.
Oh.
I had 3 tablets, about as big as an aspirin tablet. Three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And a mortar and pestle. Like you ever see what a mortar and pestle. Let's say the druggers, they got you see a drugger got that thing.
Yeah. They mixed up with, yeah.
It's made out of porcelain.
Right.
The desktop was porcelain. That thick. Tabletop. About this far from the window. To my left. About that far. And what happened is 3 of those tablets. It's 3. That side. Blew a hole
To the porcelain.
in that mortar which I had in my hand ground, the pestle which I was ground. It blew that, with a piece that big of that thing left. Now this is the part I want you to understand, that I'm blessed. An explosion, this is scientific, correct what I'm saying. An explosion go in the direction of the least resistance.
Yep.
Okay? A tire, if it's going to explode, it's going to go, the weakest part of that tire is where it's going to go to. Now, I've got a mortar, the mortar I got don't have no top on it. It went down.
Wow. Against the
Just
the
the
biggest
just the opposite of what scientifically it's supposed to do. It went down. Shattered that mortar, wasn't a piece left that big. If it was a piece, the rest of it was in my, it went down through that table, top, blew a hole in it. It went to the left, it went to the right. It did not come up, other than the heat of it.
Wow.
I'm right over it. It blew my head off. What it did, it messed I had no hair. Eyebrows going off. This eye was, the eyebrows had melted. This eyebrows had burned all it off. I had pieces in my face and down to the bone. Going to pick up pieces on my face. It blew the window out on my left side. That far. Now the window had slats in it, made. It ain't like just thick stuff. It blew the window out in that that
Mm-hmm.
to my left.
Mm-hmm.
The slat went out, the Bluetooth went out, Bluetooth went out, and the slat went out to the window. And normally
Down and out.
you touch the slat, you come back, shit, them slats stayed out there. And I'm still living.
Wow. And that's what happened to your hand.
It blew a hole right.
I didn't know you had that. Yep.
It, it, it blew this ring thing off. This was dinging on a little piece of meat, a piece of bone sticking by that for a bone here,
Mm-hmm.
come up through here, that's where that knot is. That was dinging down.
Wow.
Oh. Anyway,
But the grace of God, because
Hey.
it could have been way worse.
to make a long story, they took care of me. Yeah, still came. Beside, like you. I was blind for, had to pry my eye thing open.
I did too.
I still, sometimes you can still see some dark spots
Mm-hmm.
here where the wet is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and they gave me that's the part where I got the retirement. I had a choice of staying on
Mm-hmm.
as a supervisory chemist for life, not with them, or retiring. And they indicated that I had my choice, but they tell me about what the benefit would. If I retire, what I could get, I could go to any school I want, anywhere in the United States, get any kind of degree I want, as many degrees I want to be. They would pay full tuition, my rent, if a house where I'm staying, they'll pay it. They'll buy me a car to go to school,
Wow.
to and from school.
Mm-hmm.
They buy all the books and all that kind of thing, and they are, oh shit. Anyway, but it was this thing. If I go to school
You gotta re-up.
and be retrained, rehabilitated, and took the job other than with them, I could only make 80% of what that position I had
Mm-hmm.
paid.
Mm-hmm.
So why go get a doctorate and get a doctorate, and a doctor's gonna pay me less than what I would be making by being rehab. That's why I never, well, I got enough hours to get 2 or 3 doctorates. But it's all in the field that I'm working in. I can't work in chemistry. It can't be chemistry related.
Oh, they wouldn't let you do chemistry.
If I'm going to get some more education and training in chemistry and math, I can stay on there with them.
Right.
But they give me a choice of staying on with them or be retrained in something else.
And you decide.
But if I go retrain on something else, it cannot be chemistry related.
Right.
And I can't make more than 80%.
That's right. That's part of your retirement.
Boy, it's something to think about. So anyway, So I got all this. I went and got. I even got even certified in psychometry.
Wow.
What it is, I tested.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, I was the only black. I don't know. In the whole city and county of Montgomery, who was certified in psychometry. That's when you take the test to determine your intelligence, IQ, and test students to find out.
Where they are. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
So
That's awesome. So now question, do you want to take a break or how you doing?
Huh?
How you doing? Doing all right?
That last accident I had is bad.
Really?
I'm blessed though, because I'm in pain right now. See, the breastbone, seatbelt,
Mm-hmm. Pressed it.
it cracked my bone across here. And they don't recommend that I have an operation on it because, I guess because of my age, and it just don't heal all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But it recommended time and somebody I can make adjustment to it. The seatbelt come across here, it threw me so, the accident on my side, threw me forward, I was asleep. So it's such a joke, the car was totaled. And what happened is, it threw me so hard to forward, the airbag come out, it bust. Airbag bust from the thrust of me
Going into it.
and messed my teeth up here. And the car on this side, I was the passenger side, was bent in. But the driver's side, she was thrown, but she didn't hurt her on the side. But it messed my back up and all that. But anyway, I found out there wasn't anything internal.
Good.
That, so I'm supposed to go back to the doctor next Wednesday for second follow-up. But right now, I couldn't, you know, such thing as time, any movement, then I could just sit and just do this. And I can see spots. Just now, from here, all around here to my lower back, here, all around to the middle of my back. Now I done got so I can lift a weight. I get in bed, I couldn't lay down.
Really?
Couldn't lay down.
Had to sit down.
Back, front, side, or nothing. When whatever, just not sit in this chair. I couldn't make no movement. Anything. That I see. So I got down. I can tie my shoe, and I walk. This was a no-no before. Just
Arm up.
doing this.
Wow.
Now I can do 2,000 of them. You know, whatever. And it's still, once in a while I still feel here.
So that's part of your exercise regime now.
What I do, when I walk, I go this far as I can this way with a weight in my hand. That same thing they probably would have done if I had taken physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm doing it on my own.
Oh, you figured that? Oh,
I'm
they
doing
told
it
you to
on.
do that. Yeah, that's not sound like a car.
But as far as this thing is concerned, I just, right here, I can just touch this. Just like this. Right here,
Mm-hmm.
I, I can just, I can touch it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm touching now. This finger out. What it did, it took a nerve out of my foot,
Oh, okay.
out of his foot.
This last accident or before that?
Took a nerve out of
Out
his
your
foot,
foot.
put it in this hand and this hand. And he told me it would take 20 or 30 years if the grafting of the nerve took place before it moved 2 millimeters.
But now you can still pick up with that hand and.
Well, yeah, with problem.
Right.
They told me to wear gloves and that. I put my hand on something, lawnmower or something like that in the jar. Boys, I can't even sleep. It's pain.
Wow.
All the time. I mean, right now I'm talking. I'm in pain. The alleviation of it is they gave me some pills to take.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fun part of it. You're going to laugh on this. Went to D.C., woke up,
I think I know.
got D.C. hospital, woke up about 10:30 that night.
Mm-hmm.
Nurse come in, say, look, oh man, they said, she said, you're going to be in pain. You're getting the pain to the point where you can't stand it. They ring that thing so I can just move my, ring the bell. I rang the bell, came in. Said, I know you gave me 2 pills.
Mm-hmm.
Darvon. That's the name of them. I forget it. He said, in about 15 minutes, the pain should subside, but in case it doesn't,
Take the other.
ring will come back.
Mm-hmm.
In about 10 minutes, I'm laying down. Ben, I felt like I was floating
Really? Feeling no pain.
that high.
Wow.
That's floating. I felt damn narcotic. I never smoked, never drink.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have effect on me. The next day, they came in or whatever. They said, well, if you would, in the pain, call me.
Mm-hmm.
I did it. Same thing happened. That's 4 pills I took.
Right.
When I left there, I had 3 operations. They come down and get me. Then it took 6 weeks between operations.
Wow.
That's on my hand. That's on my hand. Put the nerves in.
Mm-hmm.
I said I took 4 pills.
Yeah, 4 pills.
From the beginning, at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. 2 a day.
When I left there, they gave me enough pills, Darvon, to fill up a whole drawer. I must have had $300, $400, $500 pills. I gave them away to some. I
Don't want to be. Don't want
if
to
I
have
ever
no-
take, I've been on a narcotic.
Right, you've been on a drug addict.
So that's what this right here, and for this right here, they gave me some pills for pain. Shit. I just, you may, it used to be in this finger, in this finger,
Mm-hmm.
this, I think maybe it was right here, it was a dark spot
Okay.
Like
I see a little
blood?
line. Yep.
on that. It may not be that long.
I see a little black line
Yeah.
right there. Uh-huh.
This finger here busted. That's how it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
It's busted that finger, top and bottom. Went all the way through to you could see through it.
Mm.
Thing I was doing it with, they put this here,
Pressure in it. Yep.
they put a nerve in here. Same way. It's church like that. But they put this called a kilo.
Mm-hmm.
They put that there so they can have something to keep it from
it
getting
off.
to the palm.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
They cut it. And here they just, oh Lord. It's made me a left hand. I've been in pain ever since 1948.
That's when that happened.
And I ain't took nothing for it.
That happened in 48. Wow.
No, 58.
58. 58. I'm gonna say because it went in at 50, so 58.
50.
Yep. 58.
50.
Wow. That's 60. Because I'm 60. That's 63 years.
And this finger here is just, that hurt. I mean, that actually hurt.
So when you walk by and hit something, it hurts. Bang on you walk
I've done
back
it so often and so many times till I ignore it. I knew I'd bear with it. It's going to bear with it. Like this, I'm doing it. You my left, like it's back up in there. Oh, I mean, all 24. Then I bed is to ignore it. Sometimes like it's gonna rain, I can tell it rain. It wake me up. The pain be so. It feels like right on the end, feel like it's gonna split right under here.
And you have to
And-
live with
and-
that
and
every
it's-
day.
Through this part here, that hurt.
Wow.
This this ring finger off. They cut it off, took the bone out of it. Out of here. It cut off to here. Blew off to here. And they just went in and took the whole, that's why that, went in and took that whole bone out of it. This part was just, this part here was in alcohol. I had it on edge actually. Somebody stole it. Alcohol. But they went in and took the rest of it out. And this little finger,
Mm-hmm.
see the difference?
Yep.
It was dangling on a little piece of meat.
I'm surprised you were able to get all that. I mean, it's amazing. Sparkle, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so
Damn, Sparkle, come on strong, don't
she
you?
come on strong. She ready. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna give me some
yeah,
water.
Mother left.
I'm gonna give me some water. You talk, Sparkle. Let me get some water. You gonna talk?
Hold it.
No, Dawson here.
Dot in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so mother left. Since I was the person who all my sister and brothers were living there. Felix was here. Harry, his daddy, was overseas. No, Felix was in the service too. And Harry was overseas. So what happened was, she gonna make out the will on who gonna be in charge of things. So she let everybody know. They already knew that mother was and I was in things together, and mother was depending on me. She told me that, look, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn everything over to you. And what she did, it was our property. And so she had to, everybody's name was on it, the property. So what she did was she told everybody what they're gonna do. See, I'm gonna turn it over to him, and he's gonna be in charge of it. And every one of them was living, not one of them objected. Not one. So she had to get legal, so the lawyer had to get them to sign the property over to her. Over to her. And Felix was overseas, and I think Harry was too. Well, Harris was in the service, but he wasn't overseas. She had the papers sent overseas to him and to Harry, and she had all those who was John in Cleveland, Betty and them in New Jersey, Lottie in New Jersey, whatever. Sent the papers to them. Sent the same thing to them to sign and send it back to her. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen on this thing. Something happened on that. Nothing happened bad. But anyway, all of them signed up, knew what's going to do, whatever. She got it, took it to the lawyer. Everybody was living there. I went there. She said, look, the lawyer said, Mary, this is the son you want to? I said, yeah. I remember going in it's in the Bell building, the place called the Bell building. It's on about the 5th floor. So anyway, I want him to be in full charge. I don't want them to have to go through them to get nothing done. Anything he want done, he can do it without any signature or whatever. So I told mother, I said, well, I agree, about you putting me in charge of it, but and I agree that I don't have to go to them to get anything done. She said, you can sell it, do anything you want without them having anything to do with it. I said, well, if I do sell it, what I want to do is to have whoever is still living, there's 10 of us living there. I said, I want them to have 1/10 of what I get out of them. Mother disagreed with it. The lawyer. I said, they talk about, I said, that's what I want done. If none of us still living, I want whoever to have 1/9. And it must have been about 4 or 5 years before mother died. We had been talking about it. She said, I want you to go and change that. Change that part of it. Where if you're doing something to the house, they ain't got nothing to do with it. You're improving whatever, they ain't got nothing. said, you ain't got no business. I said, well, I still want that to happen. And I never changed that. Never changed. That that on that property alone, if Betty don't want to live now,
That's right. Just
if I sold it or whatever,
50% go to
she
her.
get one
50%.
1/10 of it. That,
1/10 or 50%.
Huh?
It's only two of y'all now.
yeah, but
So
what at
she
the
get 50%.
time when it was done,
But now she get 50%, right?
no, she get 1/10.
1/10, and you get the other 9, 10.
For all brothers and sisters at that time, doing whatever at the time.
But they all gone now.
Yeah.
So
But
now
it's
she
still
gets.
prior to
Now she get 1/10 and you get 9, 10.
I get 9/10.
Okay.
Okay, on that. And so that, and since that time, we got property down here. I had 10 acres, 15 acres. Still got 10. Freddie had trying to get married, and he couldn't get no. That's a hard thing. I understand. You understand. If you're black, you understand it.
Mm-hmm.
To get a house, you got to have some
Some notes.
collateral or something.
Some collateral.
And you ain't got no
Yes.
collateral, whatever. And you can't get nobody to co-sign, that kind of thing. So, I got 15 acres, 10 and 5. He asked me, could I co-sign? Co-sign is something I advise nobody never to do.
That's right. That's right.
Don't forget that shit. That's a no-no with me. So I wanted to happen. So what I did, I took the 5 acres, it was about 27, 28,000.
Mm-hmm.
I deeded to him.
Okay. And now he's got collateral.
Deeded to him so he can have collateral. I don't give a damn what to do with it. He already got his house. There it is. And all he does is, I had the deed transferred to his name. He got in writing now. He got the deeds on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he paid property tax on it every year. And I kept the 10, giving the 5.
Who's that? Fred
Fred.
Williams?
Fred Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, Fred Williams.
Okay.
Anyway, that's, I got, okay, I've done that for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't gonna do, well, I could do it.
Right.
And he needed done.
Exactly.
And the
Right.
thing about it, when
That's family.
I said, what I told him I would do, I would sell it and give him money. But to sell some land, man, may take you forever. And meantime, it took all this time while he was doing it. He couldn't wait to sell it. And he went on and got what he done now.
Mm-hmm.
Found a way to do it. But I did that to him, and he still uses that as collateral.
Right. So Sparkle Ford, so you want something to drink or anything? You drive?
Huh?
You want something to drink or something?
Who?
You.
I'm gonna take you soon. You get through. I'm gonna take you to eat on your way out.
Okay. So Sparkle, what you got? What else you got, Sparkle? All right. And so I got a couple other things. I got to go see Bubba. I got a couple other things to do.
Okay.
So we good. But what else you got, Sparkle? Because this is the most important thing right here.
As far as like questions for Uncle Moses?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything discussion?
No, I don't have any questions. I don't know if you wanted to talk to him about the Scholastic program.
So you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and explain. So I know she kind of introduced to you the Scholastic program, and that we wanted to honor you.
She mentioned that to me 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So.
And every time she mentioned it to me, I said, look here, whatever the plans is, without discussing it with me, whatever, but including me, you was 90 like going north. Just go ahead and do it. Include me. Let me know what I need to do, what I can do. You know what I mean? To make it better or to make it go whatever the case may be.
Okay.
As far as agreeing on it, I thought that's a done deal.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about on that? You want to go further into it?
I didn't know if you wanted to show him, show him what we came up with, the presentation that we were giving people.
I have I have try to figure if I can get to it because you're on the iPad because I don't have internet connection for the computer.
And so I can't share my.
Well, yeah, you can share the screen on that. Yeah, you got it there.
I have it. So just real quick, Uncle Moses, I just want to show you what we're doing since it's in your, your name's on the program. I just want to make sure that you see what we're doing and what we're presenting to people. Let me show you that. We're trying to make sure that we do it properly and are on point.
Hey, there ain't no better way of doing it than what you're doing now. All right.
As soon as Harry gives me permission to share screen.
Oh, let me see.
I can see.
No, there's something else we got to do right quick. Let me see. The question is on this one. Meeting settings should be meeting settings. Allow show meeting contents. You sure you can't share it?
No, it says host disabled participants.
Okay, let's do it this way. Let's go in here, and we click on here, and we'll make you co-host now. Now you should be able to share. Can you share?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Freddie. I tell you something, Freddie coming pretty close to being what Betty like for son to be too.
Praise the Lord.
Like
Okay,
you.
so this now she's not. We can see it now, Spark. Go ahead. So this is the presentation for to explain the Scholastic program. Go ahead, Don.
So this, Uncle Moses, this is what we've been giving people as we explain what the program is to them. And it's just a high-level overview, and we'll give more detailed discussions on detailed information after we discuss it with the family. And the plan is to discuss it with them at the family reunion. So it's the Moses Cunningham Carter Scholastic Achievement Program. And so we developed the program to help prepare our children to compete nationally and locally by supporting educational needs and goals, because we feel that they should be able to come to family instead of having to go to outside resources for the knowledge, skills, and financial resources that help them succeed in life. And so in the program altogether, the Moses Cunningham Carter Scholastic Achievement Program will have the elementary program, which is what we're calling foundational skill building. And Aunt Mary Boosie is actually helping us develop that program. And that'll be for the elementary school kids. Then we have the Academic Excellence College Preparatory Program, which will be for middle school to high school age children to make sure that they have everything they need in order to graduate with the credits they need, to make sure they're taking the courses they need to take in high school so that they can go to college, and make sure they know about putting together a portfolio, interview skills, anything they'll need to be prepared to get into school. And we also understand that some people don't want to go to college.
All
Some
right.
people might want to go into career training, something like pick up a trade or something like that. So we're working on developing things to help them with that. And with all of this, it's going to be important to have the financial support, and then to have some kind of way of recognition, recognizing them for their achievement. And so with the elementary school kids, the foundational skills, things like phonics, vocabulary, math, history, science, And Mary's real big on mapping students, testing them to see where they are and where they need improvement. And that way we'll know what to focus on when tutoring them to help enhance their skills and build them. And then so with the Academic Excellence College Preparatory Program, again, that's tutoring, mentoring, professional writing.
Yeah, I see that mark. Yeah.
And, even like reviewing the transcripts to make sure they're taking the proper classes. And SAT prep is not so important anymore because more schools are now not even focusing on the SATs. So it's going to be more of the portfolio building and things like that. Campus tours, giving them information on which schools have alternative admission criteria and things like that. And so all of that, like I said, is with the financial support, we came up with 2 programs. We have the Betty Rochelle Scholarship, and then we have the stipend for those who might not meet the criteria to get scholarships. And Harry can tell you, Harry goes into the details about the scholarship as far as like the plan to fund it and everything, but we have criteria for that scholarship. Like they have to complete the college preparatory program. We're making a requirement that they have a 3.5 GPA. They have to maintain at least an 85% attendance rate at school for high school students. Be involved in some kind of extracurricular activity, volunteering, church, activism. And then they have to create an essay in order to qualify for the scholarship. And then with recognition, we figure it's a family reunion. We will have a program during the banquet where we recognize those individuals who are going to college or who graduated or who are doing well in whatever they're doing. And so, Harry, you can talk to him about the sponsorship.
Yeah, Uncle Moses, there's a couple of things that we really want you to understand about the program. The one is our objective is to make it a whole youth program, not just for the high achievers, but for everybody. So we help each one of the children, and that's why when we talked about it, we wanted you to be named the scholastic portion because that's a whole package. Your name will be known to control the whole scholastic prize because we understand what you think about education that your mother put down and gave to you and what you've pushed around everywhere we've gone. Every youth knows about how you feel about scholastic. So that's the major thing, and that's why as we talked about it, who would be who is the person that in our family that represents the whole factor. We thought that would be you. So that's what we asked for your name to be that. Then we got 2 scholarship programs. There's other programs that's in there, but when we talk about scholarships themselves, giving people financial money, there's 2 programs we're talking about. We're talking about the Betty Rochelle, and we thought that would be great for Aunt Betty to be one named on there, and then Rochelle. Now you got the Carters and the Humphreys, so both of them are represented. And then you got Betty Rochelle, who was as much on education. Also, she believed in folks going to education. And same way with Rochelle. Both of them believed highly about their children being educated in the youth business. So we thought that would be great. And on that particular scholarship program, that one is one of the ones where we are giving people credit for the work that they do. So we're saying if you get a 3.5, if you maintain 85%, if you do all the things it take, there should be something at the end of the rainbow for you. And that end of the rainbow that we're looking at right now is we're looking to come up with $9,000 a year that we give to a person who meets those standards. You get $9,000 a year and it goes to your school, not to you. It's not a check that comes to you and you get to walk away with it. It goes to the school. What does that mean? That means you got to still continue to do it. You can't do it for a year and get $9,000 and walk away. because that $9,000 goes to your next year. And so, how are we going to do that? Our plan we got doing that. We got members of our family have already dedicated that they're going to get $50 coming out of their check every month, and they're going to be sponsors for that program. So we got right now we got 12. We're going to move to 15 people. If 15 people, only 15 of our people give $50 a month, we can come up with $9,000 at the end of the year to give to a child, one of our children. That's us taking care of us, and that's for the people who really do. Now, we got another program called a stipend program. That program is what we got. So we're only talking about 15 of our family members given to that. Those are dedicated. Those are people who want their standards. We want to make sure that there's other people like me. Harry Carter couldn't have been part of that program. I was just not that scholastic when I was in school. But I worked hard. I should be able to get something too. So we're going to have another stipend program for the rest of our family members to give to. And those give as the Lord put on their spirit to give. We're going to start coming up with other programs. We can get money, scholarships from other schools, from other places like McDonald's and stuff like that. That'll go into that program. And then that'll be those who are working hard, who are going to school, but they may not be able to get a 3.5. But they still work hard. And they still want to go to college. And so we're going to have those two programs going. And the whole objective is that we as a family are giving back to our youth and our family. And we're pushing for excellence. Not just get by. And oh, by the way, if at the end of the year nobody meets the standards, what do you think we should do? That's right, nobody gets paid. We don't just give it because the money's there.
Okay.
If we don't have nobody meet the standard, then that goes to the next year.
All right.
So and for me to give my $50 a month, that's kind of standard I want you to have.
Okay.
I want you to maintain that.
Okay.
And that's why we were telling the people who get that money.
You don't get something for nothing.
That's right. But this particular group, this guy, it's not because we feel sorry for you. It's not because we love you. It's because you met the standard.
All right.
And you have to compete. Mm-hmm. So if we got 5 people competing, we're not going to split the money for 5 ways either. One person wins every year. That's so you know that you're working for something. And nobody's going to water it down just because, I feel sorry for the other guy. No. If you're the best, you meet all the standards, and you beat out the other guy, you walk away with $9,000. The other guy don't get nothing. He can get something from the stipend program. He can still compete in the other program. But for this one particular program, one winner every year. And that's every year. We have at least 12 or 15 people to be donating every year. My $50 go every year no matter what.
Plus, another thing on this, you can file this on your tax too.
Right.
Scholarship situation, you can if you get established, registered or whatever, you can use it on your income tax.
Remember this, Sparkle. We got to make sure that gets set up too. So that's the Betty Rochelle.
All right.
That's the Betty Rochelle, and then we got the stipend. So those are the 2 major ones, and that's we're going to start this year. Now, the whole scholastic program is still building. But what we want to emphasize at this particular reunion is we're going to walk in there ready to start the scholarship, Betty Rochelle Scholarship Program. That's it. Now, as we go next reunion, we should have most of the rest of it built. Because Boosie still has to work on building the portion that she's working with the youth. There's other programs we're still working on. But right now, we got children who are working hard. And we think that we want to start off with them being able to see immediate turnaround on. So we're going to present that this coming reunion.
Well, I'm in on that. $50, okay.
Okay. Well, so I want to ask you about that. But if you want to do it, if you want to be one of the 15, that's fine.
That's it. I'm saying it's at least 15 will pledge
to $50 a month.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. You want to be one of those 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's to explain that program and kind of go along with what Sparkle is talking about is we think that the family union that was created by our elders and our ancestors was one of the best things that's happened to keeping this family together. But we got to move to that next step. And the next step is how we're going to take care of our youth. How are we going to make it so that the youth understands what family really means? And why would I at 15 want to go to this family, go to family reunions? Why do I want to hang out with the family? If there's no care in the family, if there's nothing that we're saying to help each other in the family, why do I want to be a part of it? This scholastic program, we're saying we want to start this scholastic program. What's the youngest age, Sparkle, that we expect people to start getting the scholastic program? You still there?
I'm here.
When we get done, I thought it was what was it, fourth grade, fifth grade?
No. It's all the elementary kids. It's just that we have certain grades that
Right.
we know are promotable grades.
Right.
And fifth grade is the first one.
Yo, so fifth. When I'm saying that we want to start, we want to help it, but it's fourth and fifth grade is when we really need to be making a change in their lives if we expect them to excel in high school and college. You can't wait to high school to start teaching the tactics and the skill set that they need to have. So this scholastic program that we want your name to be a part of is to start at least grabbing a hold to these guys in fourth and fifth grade. Now, yeah, we want to do some things prior to that, but fourth and fifth grade is the time that Sparkle and Bootsy and all those guys have done their research. That's the time we really need to be putting emphasis on excellence that they'll be able to turn out and use when they get to elementary and high school. And we know that if they're not serious by the eighth grade, it's awful hard for them to all of a sudden with everything that happens in high school, all the lifestyle change in high school, it's awful hard to now become serious in high school. I mean, it's almost too late. If you don't work on those foundations before you get to high school, most children are not going to do foundational work in high school. It's almost too late. Some will, but most won't. You've almost lost them scholastically. Now they become like me. They become guys who just learn how to adapt.
That's right.
Without the foundation to really have to build the structure. When you talk about science in high school, man, I ain't caring about no science in no high school. I ain't caring about no electronics. I ain't caring about. I'm blessed that the Lord allowed me to get in computers. Situational. I work hard now. Don't get me wrong, but the foundation wasn't done in the fourth grade. So that's why it's to us, and me and Sparkle have been talking, that's why it's become so important to us to start pushing this in the family to build something versus just saying we just love each other.
Now this situation as far as colleges are concerned, is this for family people going to college or what?
You talking what age are we talking about that can get the scholarship?
Yeah.
Are you asking, is it only family or is it outside people or?
Yeah.
It's family.
Okay.
Right now it's family.
Family members who can meet the qualification you talking about
Right.
as far as scholarship.
Now one of the ones we still debating about is because one of the things we said as one of the prerequisite was you had to come to a family union within a 4-year period. So you had to come to one of the family. You had to show that you want to be part of this family. You have to come to within it was 4 years, so you had to come within 2, right?
Yeah.
So within 4 years you have to come to one of the reunions. That kind of means you part of the family.
Not all, but one.
Well, it's one in 4. That means that's within 2 reunions you should have come to at least one.
All right.
So 4 years. That's 4 years. That's why I said like 4.
Right.
Within 4 years you should have been to one reunion.
All right. Now, the persons we talk about, not non-college. See, some person may want, now that include somebody may want to go to trade school.
Not that one.
Sir.
And not that one. Not Betty Rochelle. And stipend, right? Am I right, Sparkle?
Yeah, the stipend is for those.
The stipend
who
is
might wanna go
for
to trade
right.
school.
The Betty Rochelle is pretty strict. These are high schoolers going to college or already in college.
All right.
They have to have the GPA because they got the GPA and they got to go
That's
to school.
required.
That's required.
Required period.
So that's kind of hard for those guys who are going to trade school and stuff like that because that's usually not that group.
Yeah.
That group has to go with the stipend, the other scholarship. That's why we want to have 2 scholarships.
Okay.
Is we want everybody to have the opportunity to get a scholarship. But for one group, the Betty Rochelle, we got a group that have been working. They're gonna work hard no matter what. They're the Moseses. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that are going to work hard no matter what, and we want to help those guys. It's not fair that they don't get us because they go and compete everywhere. They go and compete, and they don't get scholarships because it's not because they got low income because they got low grades. They don't get no pat on the back for all the work they've done. Those guys fit in that group. They're already excellent workers, and we want to emphasize. We want those guys not be the nerd of the family everybody laugh at. We want those guys to be the guys at the family. They say, "Wow, that guy just got $9,000 for his hard work."
One thing too, I think Barack Obama is pushing.
I just heard about it. I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
You aware of it? Okay. Now the other thing, because everybody is not going to go to college.
Right.
Everybody who needs to have a training don't have to get it from college.
Right.
They can go for whatever. One of the things, let's say the recipient, this is what is not happening with the football player and the basketball player and the other person who've had scholarship to go to college and they get a pro contract. They don't give anything back to the school.
After they get it.
Now, what I want to do is that anybody who get a scholarship,
Have to give back. That's a good.
you know
point.
what I'm saying, and go through with it, whatever. Once they finish and get a job, I like to have them to contribute back to the same scholarship fund they got to go to school.
I want to take it one step farther, guys.
No.
I want to add one step farther to that because I want to say, and you guys tell me if this makes sense. If I get a scholarship and I become a freshman in college and I get $9,000, I should have to do something back to a family member, like a youth. Not after I graduate. I'm talking about my freshman year. I just got $9,000 my freshman year. I should be able to do some tutoring or something back to the family. And then once I get through the 4 years and I graduate, then I should have to also get something back. And what do y'all think about that?
That's right. Yeah. Do something during the time you're getting
Right.
to where you're going. Once you get there,
Right.
now financially, fix it so you can get back to whatever. Not financially while you're going. You get financially, you've been helped to go.
Right.
But once you get while you're going, give some non-financially back to the same kind of thing that got you there.
Now, only thing with
But
that,
once you get finished with it,
only thing with that, Uncle Moses, we got to think about
you
is
$50 back.
Yeah, the only thing I got to think about that is okay, and I like where you're going. I just kind of trying to figure out in my mind how we can do it. If I do it, I may only win that one scholarship once in my 4 years.
Oh well.
Because see, it's unlikely. I'm hoping that it's unlikely that the same person is going to be able to win 4 years in a row.
Yeah, since they benefited from it.
Yeah, I'm hoping. What I'm hoping is that the competition is so good that person won't be able to beat everybody out all 4 years. They may only win 1 year, and the next year they compete, and somebody else comes up and knocks them out the box.
Well, I learned we over another thing. Now, we had when I was going to work, whatever, they had a situation where everybody who enter something don't finish it.
Right.
In fact, the percentage is low. For those who start, finish.
All the way through. Yes, sir.
that thing. In fact, that's why Barack Obama was talking about, that's one of the things he's talking about in, uh, if you're talking about going to college, uh, you, there are so many who don't even go to college that need to be in a situation where they can have whatever. But as far as starting and finishing, we don't do that on our bills that we have. Like
That's right.
But we're saying that if you start, and let's just say you don't finish, you go to something else, but you do get a chance to start and go at least 1 year, then you go into something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like I tell freshmen, I don't want to get into that, but anyway, yeah, you need to. This is a little tricky on this now, because we talk about theoretical, and theoretical things don't ever.
It doesn't pan out as you think
Theoret-
of it.
You go to theoretically, you write down something to get funded. They look at that. Whoever's going to fund it says, "For what I can see, that's good. And I'm going to give you the money to do it. If you can stay on this track."
Right. Right. Right.
Okay? Even if somebody got a thing for a year and get out of it and get into something else. I would like to have some, hopefully, I'm going to say something else too. One of the main reasons a person, when they declare a major, that's why some schools don't want the person to declare a major
Feel like the sophomore, junior
until
year.
till about the junior year.
Yep.
Freshman, sophomore year, you're finding out.
Get your directives. Get your.
You're finding out what's going on, and what's going to be required. Many persons say, "I want to be an engineer," but they don't know what what they need to be an engineer till they get into it.
They say, "No, I ain't doing that in there."
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I want to be a banker. So they take some freshman courses, maybe even sophomore courses, so you can see what's required to get that. My feelings going to change based on how I can handle what I'm going to
All the
be.
curriculum. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? Now, it's always good for you to pay for it while I'm finding out. So, you know what I'm saying? But, that would make it even better. While I'm finding out, I ain't got to pay for this.
Yes, sir.
That's going to make it attractive. Okay. Okay. So, we have no way of knowing, not that the person, even though you're basing it on the particulars you see, you have no way of knowing that the person would go for 4 years or go for 1 year. But you're basing on what you expect based on what you require them to have. At least the interest, and show that you have some of the particulars that would make you successful.
And see, that's why it's so important to have you involved, because see, that's a second portion of where we need to go. See, the one thing we're doing right now is a one-time scholarship, and technically, it's really only giving you credit for what you've done in the past. It's helping you for your future, but it's not really dealing with your future. So you getting this one-time shot, $9,000, because of what you've done up until the end of that year. Now, what you're talking about is, how do we come up with a program to sponsor a person more than that 1 year? How do we come up with a program to help with guidance, help with financial help? How do we help that person, even if they go into a college to become an engineer and decide that they want to be a business owner and they want to get out after the second year and they want to go and run a business. How do you sponsor them? And that's why you're important, because you're right. We need to grow this to cover all of the youth, to make sure that each one of them have their own way to excel, because there's no one way to excel. There's a gazillion ways that each one of our children can excel, and how we support that. So you're right. This is if you can't even say this is a rock into the pond. This is just a beginning. And what I see, and what me and Sparkle have talked about, is we can see this thing if we do this right and stick to the basics at the beginning and make our structure, our foundation well. This can turn into a foundation for the family that others will look at and say, I want to do my family like that. This would be an example of how we pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. Our family, our children have opportunity. Now, those that are not going to do, they're not going to do. And there's some that's going to fall, but they're not going to do this. Okay. But there's some that are looking for ways to get out, and we want to give those options. And this is the beginning. The beginning is, but if you look, and we're gonna go through this again on Friday or family reunion. If you look at the packet that Sparkle has put together, and it's hard to say in the short time we've done it. Me and Sparkle been going back and forth this about 2 years. So it's harder in this first packet to show all the things that's in there. But there's so much room in the scholastic program that we see you being a part of, helping us, guiding us, getting us through, because it's just so large. And to be honest with you, Uncle Moses, I did not know. This is the first time I really sat down. That's why this is important to me. And seen the vastness of what God has allowed you to be a part of. Your background. I knew you had educated background, but I didn't know all of this.
Well, it's it had gotten, I don't know where to start, but it's gotten to the point where at one point I've heard many times, person says, I don't want, I'll tell you what I'm going to the Army. That way I'm going to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get three meals a day and whatever, and I ain't got to,
3 meals in a cot.
All right.
3 house in a cot.
And even that,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
you find some turnaround. Person go in, expecting what they thought the Army going to require, I can deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be getting paid for it, and I'm going to give you 3 swears, and whatever. I ain't got to, they going to take it. Army going to require some of you.
That's right. That's right. There's payment. There's always payment.
You don't get something for nothing.
That's right.
And the thing is, that's a bad example of what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Here's a situation here's a person. Oh, I want to get that. I want to be trained. I want to be able to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My dream is to be a bus driver. And I'm going to be a bus driver, whatever. Well, whoever is on the other end going to give you the chance to do that. Going to require you to do something to be a bus driver.
That's right.
Now, can you do those things that going to be required? I'm gonna see you get the money to be a bus driver. I'm going to hire you. Mm-hmm. But for hiring you, I'm going to require you to do something as a bus driver.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is something you say you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a win-win thing as far as you see at the beginning. But everything, uh, you don't get something for nothing.
Nope.
For what something gonna be required of you to do that.
Even with God.
Come on now, don't rush me. Don't rush me. Okay. This, I've worked with Foundation at the Alabama State. In fact, a good friend of mine, Archie Moe, he died. In fact, about computerizing the office, getting the equipment and putting programs on or whatever. They gave me $500 to buy a computer.
Oh man.
Okay, but yeah. Somebody said, I'm competing to get a scholarship. That scholarship, as far as we're concerned, it's our family.
Mm-hmm.
We benefit in our family. But the thing is, it had to be evaluated as to that ain't the only outcome we're gonna have. Like I said, you said hopefully the same person will be for 4 years. I've listened to you.
Mm-hmm. But let me go ahead.
That it could be different person every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But as long we talk about it's only for 1 year.
Right.
All our situations got to be, our expectation got to be done within a year. Not starting the next year with this person. We ain't doing it with 4 people. We're doing it with 1 person. We're doing it with 1 person starting, whatever. Now, I was just getting ready to say, actually, I made a statement like that. What I wanted to see was when the person got through with the program,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that they could see that it helped them, the program helped them, so why do I give back to the program?
Right. Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now,
And one of the things when you say that, let me say this thing. So, let's just say we had 5 people who meet the ability to get that scholarship. Only 1 person can win, right? Guess what? Those other 4 people, they got above 3.5 average. They got above 90%. They got 90%, or they get above 90% of attendance rate. They've got social. They got social things they've been doing in the environment. Guess what I do? We can now take those other 4 people and find scholarships because now they're competitive all across the world, all across the United States. Now we got a group of people. They don't have to get just our 9,000. We can get money for them because now they're competitive. What I'm hoping is that we build up such a big pool of children that are working so hard, they won't have to worry about finding money. Money gonna be looking for them because you're black, you're female. So we building up people. So yeah, we may only pay for 9,000 person, but
no, now the person we select, a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Being competitive means if you don't win, you still have done what you could have done. You could have won. And
you put yourself in a competitive pool that now you can compete against everybody.
Right. Now, what I was saying is we're putting X number of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You said 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
What that is.
Yep.
That's significant for them, son.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. We're putting $50. We're putting $9,000 into the program
Yes.
a year
Yes.
for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, what I was saying is, what are we getting out of it? What are we getting out of it? At the end of whatever successful situation we invested in.
Mm-hmm.
What I was saying is, there were two things.
I hear you.
You came up with one of them. Why this person that's non-monetarily, but it's an investment, but it's a one, why the person is in the program,
You gotta give back.
they can contribute
Time and effort.
some little help
Yep.
on
Yep.
work students, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Put-
Work study program. Yep. 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 Yep.
Don't cost them nothing.
Yep. Yep.
All right, that's one benefit. Now financially, if I said that's non-financial.
Right.
Financially, if they went a completing of it,
Right.
like I told you about the football players, basketball players, or whatever they're on scholarship,
Yep.
some of them give back to the school.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
To the same, they don't. I don't suggest they give back to professor. What we're saying is, a student who graduates from college now,
Alumni.
they're doing it. Especially those who's on scholarship, they join the alumni club.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in some way they can get those who, our family people who we financing to help get through to whatever. Once they get out, they ought to join the club,
That's right.
so to speak, and contribute to scholarship for somebody else.
There is, for you, for example, when you've decided now you want to be part of what's the club you're gonna be part of now of the 15?
Oh, platinum sponsor?
It's platinum sponsor. So once now that you signed up, come the reunion, you're gonna be identified as part of the platinum sponsors. Now, what does that mean? That means that you're a sponsor, you're a platinum sponsor for the Betty Rochelle scholarship program. Now, once we get around to that person, the next year, there's no reason why in my mind, we're gonna have at least, close the ears, Swarkle, 2 or 3 platinum sponsors. Because you're only talking about 12 to 15 people. I should be able to get 45 of my people that want to give $50 a month of all the family members. That gives me three people. I mean, that gives me 3 people. I give $9,000 to a year just for that program, And then the other thing we want to build on the stipend program, we want to build up a large amount of scholarship money on that. But that's a different program. Then we'll be building even more money that we're giving out to our family members, to our youth. So the objective is to make it so that, one, like you're saying, everybody has an opportunity, but then after you get that opportunity, what you're talking about is we need to come up with a program that they can pay back, that they can put back in the program, whether it be after the first 4 years, after every year, or more importantly, the 4th year, you should come back as a sponsor. You should come back. There should be no question in your mind that you're going to sign up to pay at least $50 a month, if not $100 and $150 a month, because all this time we backed you to get you where you are. You got there because off the backs of. You should be ready to do the same thing.
We're on the same page.
Yeah,
now.
you getting me there.
That's what I was saying. I said it was 2 things.
Yes, sir.
Give some back while you non-financial.
Right.
Some help in tutoring or whatever.
Right.
Or encouraging whatever while you're in.
Yes,
okay? Non-financial.
Right.
and financial only after you have finished
Right.
with the scholarship situation.
Yes, sir.
Then you ought to start talking about
Giving-
financially contributing back to the program
That's correct. Yes, sir.
that you finished.
Yeah,
Now those are the two things.
we need to develop that.
That's what I said. You don't get something for nothing.
Right.
But you they don't sit and talking about charging somebody something before they finish. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got that.
Not money wise.
Right.
But you can contribute two ways: financial and
Yes, sir. Now.
non-financial.
Yes, sir. You're right. You're right.
So, in fact, and I tell you something else. Nothing sound better to another person than a person who's in something and in it because of some benefit they get. Some of the best tutors you're going to get is somebody
Who needed to be tutored. Yep.
you know what I'm saying? They got help. And they can sure see somebody who need help. Man, when I was when I finished school, personally, I know it happened many times. I was pretty good at math.
Sounds like it.
So, and some other. I was on course. Believe it or not, I didn't know it. I hated English. But I found out English was my way of communicating what I knew.
Right.
And I also found out that what I know and what I'm going to talk about, there's a way you can do it and a way you get the best result. And English was my use of English words, not I'm talking to you, you're a college person. I talk, it's a non-college, but both of you got to get the message.
You're able to
I
communicate.
got to have a way of
Communicate to both.
English.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I miss Winston Dixie. I miss using words that,
You done lost them. They not paying attention. Yep.
and the only way you're going to have a transmit anything is you make yourself understood by what you're saying. Otherwise, like some of these pimp, they use big words to impress. But the person they impress don't understand what the word is.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm impressed because you use a big word. But I don't know what the hell the meaning of it is. It must be something important because you said it. So I need to be able to get somebody who, because they got help to do what they want to do
They'll understand.
and benefiting from it. If I can get that person to come back and talk to somebody who, during the time they're doing this,
Right.
they can speak that person's language,
Right.
who need to know what they've learned from that experience. That's the best teacher in the world.
So you're right.
Best teacher in the world is one who's being helped. Now they're gonna help somebody else to understand what it is. Shit. I don't need a PhD to tell me here talk to a person who, whatever. PhD gonna talk PhD language. He ain't gonna talk just to whatever. That's why they said that one of the best teachers in the world, I learned this in 8th grade. 8th grade. At Loveland High School. Loveland turned out to be a magnet school.
Did it?
Philip Wheatley in Cleveland was number one for the whole, number one for years. As far as you have to take a test to get into high school. They started that magnet stuff here. Lovelace came out to be number 3 in the whole United States.
Really?
Lovelace. The white people got it. They closed Love's down now. They put Love's in the white section.
Oh.
Can't keep it in the black. In the whole United States, that includes Minneapolis, who you name it, and they got them in Minneapolis.
Because it became so popular, they took it out of here and put
They
it.
wrote they put that Love's school. They did it for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And he got to the point where they had a board meeting. Somebody, they need to change the school because it's been so old. One of the people said, it ain't what you see outside, what's going inside this county. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
White people want to move because it was old school. One of them black directors, and he's right. And it's everything black, that whatever, they want to move it to the white section. Okay, so what I'm saying is, in the 8th grade, we are reading literature. English literature is something I didn't like,
Mm-hmm.
but I did it because
It had to.
yes, everybody was took the whole room. Everybody sitting around, sick. Harry Carter, they're reading literature, and you read till you found a word you couldn't pronounce.
Mm-hmm.
No, you sat down, and the person next to you started that point. So they got to around to a thing, boy. They got to a word. Nobody up to me couldn't
Stand up.
say it. I don't know. I looked at that word. I said, I've heard it, but I had never seen it in writing. I was saw that. Look at that word. They missing this bit. I said, God damn, it's gonna get to me. I look at that word. Parched, P-R-C-H-E-D, parched corn. The word was corn, but it was parched, the word parched.
Parched, right.
I got up, parched corn, and I read to, there's another girl in that class, living in Sheridan Alley, run down house, no shotgun house, all that stuff. That black girl could read, goddamn, she made me mad because she was smart out. Every time you look around, Rosa Green, I'll never forget her.
Mm-hmm.
Fat, ugly, messed, that was back in
You can get it messed
during
up.
that time.
Yeah.
Hair nappy, clothes, but that heifer could read, goddamn. So, went all the way got to her, they said, stop. Said, Rosa, you start. Because she knew
They knew she'd get it going.
that damn. So I learned in that literature class, not at that particular time, but later.
Mm-hmm.
Who is educated? Listen to this now. The word, how can you tell a person is educated? By what they dress, how they dress,
No.
where they live, what they drive, what school they went to, whatever. How they speak,
Depends.
that's the question they ask everybody. I can tell somebody educated because they are the same place. You can tell a person who's educated by how they adjust to whoever they're talking to.
True.
And some people can't do that. They talk the same way all the time. They want somebody who's non-educated, supposedly. I'm going to use big words. I'm going to use words that take something to understand. I'm going to use that on them
So I can
because
dominate.
this person here know, and you ought to know. The thing is, a person who educated, an educated person, is one who's speaking and adjusts what they say
To his audience.
to fit their audience. That's why a preacher or whoever get up and talk to a room full of people. His approach, in one respect, he reaches somebody, but he's missing so many others.
Right.
A teacher, same way. You got to talk if you got this person ain't that person, but I want this person to understand the same thing that person to understand.
Right. Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So once if you're fortunate enough to know your audience, who you're talking to at this time, if you know who this is separate, I know who this is separate, and whatever. And I do not talk to this person the same way I talk to that person on the same thing.
Right.
And you're not talking to somebody, make yourself understood, unless you can use words that person can understand what you're talking about. Okay? Educated person is one who can adjust what they're saying based on their audience. Don't forget it.
I won't.
A person, I'm saying it that way. In other words, you got to, I'm talking to all doctors here. I can't use doctors saying over somebody who don't know anything about medicine.
That's right.
You know what I'm
If you
saying?
if you want to keep his attention.
If you want to understand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot use, and I know this person here didn't do, and don't know a thing about chemistry. What the hell I'm going to do, use chemical terms? You look at your prescription. I get my prescription from Walgreens. On there, they have signed the medicine name, then they have common name. The common name for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If I was talking to somebody I knew medically oriented, I usually go and use the medical name for it. But if I'm talking to somebody who may not know medical thing, I'm going to use the common name for it. Okay? And damn insulin. Medical name for it, that damn long. Common name is insulin.
Everybody know what it is.
Insulin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. It's I learned that in 8th grade. You need to adjust what you're saying. If you want to be understood, to adjust what you're trying to get somebody to understand to the person now, an educated person can do that. They can go. An uneducated person is going just one thing, and that's it. You get it or you don't get it.
That's true. That's true.
There's a lot of truth in that, boy.
There's a lot of truth
A lot
in
of
that.
truth.
A lot of truth in
Somebody, it's just like getting in, come to somebody, they talking, and you come up and get into it while the conversation going, and you find out somebody say, you ain't talking, you ain't talking about the same thing they talk about.
Right.
You think you are. You know what I'm saying? They both look at you and say, where you coming from? The educated person first I'm gonna come and listen and find out how it's being said. What it go-
You
I'm
gonna read the
gonna
room?
do that before I even ask a question.
You gonna read the room? Yep.
Before I even ask a question.
That's
If I
right.
want, if I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna find what's going on. I'm gonna find if I find out they're talking something I can put up. That's what I'm. Sometimes you can't even ask the question on the terms that you need to understand it on. That's why that person has to make that adjustment.
Right.
All right.
Moses, yeah, Uncle Moses, I'm at the. See, I can be here with you all the way. Spark.
Okay.
Don't want to interrupt. Anything. Okay.
So you don't want
No,
to you don't want to get anything to eat?
No. I'm gonna have to, cause I'm gonna have to stop by. I think I might have to come back here. I might have to come back.
And the door locked open, but you knock on it.
No, I might have to come back another day because I got I got this. Let me see if she sent it to me. I've got a couple of things I got, but I know Sparkle wanted us to scan some pictures. Sparkle, you still there? She said she had to leave. That's what I was looking at.
Take pictures.
She said she had to leave.
Oh, shit.
So I think she's
Well.
gone right now. But I do know because the other thing is I want to get down to the. This rain ain't gonna get me. You said it's gonna be rain like
It's
this
gonna
till,
rain all day.
till Wednesday.
It's gonna rain to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Oh
and
my
Wednesday.
goodness. Oh my
I
goodness.
think Thursday may be cloudy.
I'll be back on the road on Thursday. I gotta get back to Ohio by Thursday. Thursday morning, Friday evening. I gotta be back by Friday afternoon because my daughter has her baby shower. So you know we can't miss those.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. I don't know what to do.
I'm telling you, Uncle Moses, this has been a blessing.
I talk, and the only thing make me notice is start hurting. I keep it on, let it go away.
and
Here, right here, hurting like hell right now.
does we've been gone like 4 hours.
What I'm saying is, right here,
Mm-hmm.
it was hurting when it came in. What I'm saying, it's getting noticeably more.
Is it getting worse? It's not getting better.
No. All I'm saying is, it come and go.
Oh, okay.
But this stay at let's say 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
It stay at no lower than a 5 all the time.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now, what are they saying about it? Is that supposed to get better or?
No, it's come from muscles, nerve, and bone, and they don't recommend no operation, whatever. And they said time, and fitness, and if I hadn't been fit like I was,
It would have been worse.
it's just
You could have been gone.
yeah. Now this right here, it was in 1950.
58.
No, 1960, 1968.
Mm-hmm. You had to carry a big load.
And Dr. told me, a millimeter, if the nerves catch whatever, a millimeter a year, like that.
And you've done so much with that.
Yeah,
Man, it's
everything
part
I've done it with it.
That's crazy.
And then everything I've done since 60, whatever, was done with this.
That's crazy. And I just thought, I didn't know the pain was still there. Though.
Oh, yeah. Cold weather just enhance it. Warm weather It's like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But cold weather just make it 10 times, just make amplify it. And anything anything hard like that, I move it. I learn to
Grab it that way.
hand over. But if I come straight down, now that is puffed up.
Mm-hmm. I can see where it goes right there.
They go when they put under there from here to there nerve. Oh Lord.
It's just crazy that you can feel that, and you got to touch it all the time. Everywhere you go,
All the time.
everything you do.
It's a thing. It's just something you either take a pill.
Who you live with?
You know what I'm saying? You gonna take a shot or something. You know what I'm saying? Or bad with it. So it's just mind over matter. Like a person said, if somebody go to the doctor, it's in the book, go to the doctor and something wrong with them. Say, well, what you do? What you doing? How you feel? What you do, whatever. Oh, when the doctor's determined that it ain't nothing medicine can help. You got to get that done in your mind. They give you a placebo water pill.
And just because you think it's doing something,
As a man thinketh, so is he.
so is he. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you think this pill gonna do me some good, I have faith in this doctor. Doctor, I read it. I'm gonna take that pill.
I gotta feel better because the doctor said so. That's great. That's great. All right, we're going to bring this to end. That's
Been
crazy.
me all my life. Wow.
So wait a minute. So you was undefeated.
Undefeated on that team. That pitch on that that's on undefeated team. On undefeated team. It's in 1950. And they've had teams that won championship, state championship, since that time. But they haven't been undefeated.
So you guys still have the record of the undefeated.
They're undefeated. Every game they played, undefeated. There's been some game. The next year, they played a team from Pensacola, Booker, Washington, and they was tied. They had a tie. Your Uncle John was on that. And Coach Freeman scheduled them that same year and went and beat them.
Oh, so y'all went and beat the one that could have been undefeated.
No, we was undefeated.
Right. But this other team was going to be undefeated and y'all went and beat them.
They was undefeated.
Okay.
And damn, 1950, he scheduled to play them again, and played them down there
Okay.
and beat them. Carver was undefeated up to the time he played Booker, Washington,
Oh, okay.
down there.
Okay, yeah.
That was the next year after we were
Yeah,
undefeated.
Yeah. Okay.
John, he was undefeated on until that time. I was here I was in the service in 1950. I graduated, went to the service. And here on leave, I went to Pensacola with them on leave. They beat them.
Yeah.
So not only that, I was the captain of the team.
Were you?
You ain't listening to what I'm saying.
You the smallest thing on there, the quarterback and the captain? And you didn't play all 4 years.
On that team, about 8 or 9 of those guys on that had been in the service. 3 years. At the time, you can go to high school and you get drafted out of when you're in high school, go to service, get out, you come back and go to
Finish high school.
If about 8 or 9 of them on there, service. They was 20, some of them was 22, 23 years old.
Man. It's pouring down out there, isn't it?
Yeah, boy, I told you it's gonna rain. It's rain like here. But anyway, that's all. Yeah, I was Cap. Matthew Humphrey.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Humphrey.
Yeah.
Junior called him Junior. You said nickname. Everybody had a nickname. Junior. He had Washington Park had a recreational team.
Mm-hmm.
Them guys would drop out of school and play. We used to practice against them. Maxwell Field had a team. Servicemen who left college,
Mm-hmm.
went into the service, got drafted or something like that. Some servicemen who was already in the service, they had service teams. We used to practice against them. Practice. Goddamn men, some of them had played pro football.
And they come back and play against y'all.
We practiced against them.
Practice, yeah.
That's why we were so tough. Tough as nails. Time Mag, not Look, but Time magazine.
Mm-hmm.
No, Look magazine. Not Time, Look. The year was undefeated, 1950. Such a ruckus about it, whatever. We was on Look magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Came by and took pictures of the school, had a big picture in Look magazine. Shit, I was, not the first page, but you go in and turn, whole damn page.
The pictures of y'all and work right up about y'all.
And me, an individual picture of me and somebody, and they had the team picture. They were talking about Carver High School, new school. That was a brand new school then. And it wasn't like any other black school in the area. They made that. Damn sure did.
Man, we never know all the things that
Boy,
some guys have done in our family, man. We just don't know.
now that stuff you see on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
the greed, all that stuff, it ain't, I ain't got it all up. Just don't have space for it. That stuff over there, the school, stuff over there, around the school over here.
Yeah, come on over here. Come on and tell me that story again.
Huh?
Come on over here. Let's tell me the story again about the painting.
Just tell you what,
The story about the painting. Come on, tell me the story about the painting.
son,
No, over here.
over here, picture.
Yeah.
Over here.
I want to make sure we
Yeah, that's mine.
annotate that.
That's mine. Arthur Brick. Now, the picture's supposed to be a story in itself.
So we'll.
That's why you don't see nothing.
So we look.
You take it.
Okay, it's looking at the picture now. Now, explain to us what you just explained to me about the picture.
Yeah, that's a black man. You have a question about what a black man see when he see the American flag.
Now, when was this picture done?
When was it on?
When was it done? When was the picture done?
Oh, that was back in 1990. About 90, about 1990.
So back in 1990, and now it's 2020. What is it? 221. The question that the black man is asking about when he looks at the American flag,
What do you see?
what do you see? And
That's the answer there. What do you see?
now, what's the answer? What's that
You see
answer?
something. You see. You don't
Before you
see.
say, guys, before you say something, guys, when you look at this picture and you see how the painter described what do you see, what do you see on the top of his head? What is that? Is that a question mark? Is that what he's saying? Uncle Moses, what is he saying?
Yeah,
You tell what is he
That's a
saying?
question. He looking at me. He have a question.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't bravery and all that stuff and home of the free and all that. He has a question about when he see it.
Mm-hmm.
And what he see is, when he see it, is something sinister. Same thing we feel like when we see a snake. We see a snake, it don't mean it's something you're proud of and whatever. It's something you think you ought to be afraid of. Have a big question mark. And he put it, to put in words, he put his question mark is in the form of a snake.
Wow, that's deep.
See, something sinister, something he should be afraid of.
That's deep. And what's the name of the artist? You remember the name of the artist?
His name?
Yeah.
Arthur Britt.
Arthur-
Dr. Arthur Britt.
Dr. Arthur Brick. He's a famous painter. So look him up, guys. Because right now your uncle, grandfather, whatever, has a painting in his home of an enlightened painting that was done for him by Dr. Arthur Brick.
And he has stuff in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Now, guys, regretfully, I don't have time to go through this wall, but I just want you guys to kind of take a look and kind of look at the history. You got certificate of honor from the military. You got from the Department of the Navy. You got all these awards and certificates from the Department of the Navy. You just go Alabama State, George. This is a guy that does not sit on his laurels, has not sat and just asked anybody to give him anything. Don't get me wrong, he's been blessed and he's been given stuff, but he hasn't sat down and waited for folks to give him. If something was given to him, it wasn't because he was waiting on it to be given to him. It was because he was working and somebody thought he deserved it. So when you look at this wall, and this is just only one wall, we're about to turn around and look at another wall. And then there's, as you look around here, there is just wall after wall. Look at that. Is that you? Is that you in the picture up at the top? No, who's that? Is that you? Is that you, Uncle Moses?
Huh?
Is that you up there?
Yeah, I'm in on top, yeah.
Wow. Who's that below you?
That's Sean right
That's
there.
Sean. That's Sean is the
That's me over there
son.
with the president of Alabama State University. Give me an award.
So guys, we're not just showing you this to pat him on the back, because he's been patted on the back. We're showing you this because we need you to understand that you too, you're no different than Uncle Moses. All you got to do is aspire, work hard, and success will follow. Go ahead.
That was when I went to Brown University for a year.
Uh-huh.
Those were the people who, throughout the United States, who was given a scholarship to go for an academic year, for a whole year, to go to school.
Wow. So I'm gonna have to come back down, guys, and Sparkle's going to have me come back down here. I know, because she wanted me to get some pictures, but I'm kind of running out of time. We've been here 3.5 hours talking, and we haven't even got to the crust. Go ahead.
Put this up.
Which one? Oh yeah, that picture there. We haven't got to the crust of one of the
That picture there.
patriots of this
Everybody on
family.
there got PhDs, except me. And, I mean, at that time, it didn't.
Yeah, this
Only
is
7 people out of 400 and something.
so, guys. This is what's part of our family, guys. This is why you are excited to be part of the Gibson Carter Humphrey family. Is not because of the words, not because of the letters, not because of the name, but because of the history that's involved. Like I said, I regretfully I'm gonna have to go, but this is just this is gonna be part 1 of a series on Uncle Moses, and then we're gonna move on and do part 2, 3. It's gonna be at least, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be at least a 4-part series on our uncle.